just sorry, yeah. So I had it wrapped around here, and I taped the XLR to the mic, because there's no way it's going to stick to that. Oh, so
And good evening and welcome inside to Santo Field. I'm John Schwartz. Alongside me is Andrew Rossman. Is the Case Western Reserve University football team in the 36th annual playing of the Academic Bowl. Will be taking on Carnegie Mellon University tonight in what is a slightly, let's call it a wintry mix out there today, Andrew, but should be a fun one out there and an intense game between two pretty good competitors. Andrew, you played in the Academic Bowl. What does this game typically mean as a player to you?
It's different. Everyone wants to say, oh, each week is the same. It's a chance to go 1-0. This one counts for a little bit more. Carnegie Mellon coming in, already clinched a playoff spot, already clinched the conference title, but Case Western with the best chance in the world to play spoiler. They can come in, they can finish on a strong note this season, and like I said, this is a different game. It's Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. It's Case versus Carnegie. Everything to play for, both teams just in a little different mindset.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe a bit of an added twist to this year's Academic Bowl. We'll get a nice long look at Ian Kipp today. Drew Saxton not expected to play after suffering an injury against Westminster last week, so maybe a bit of a look at the future as well, and I imagine that'll be an interesting way to end this season as well.
Yeah, and we've seen it all year. They've played pretty much in every game that we've done, 4 different quarterbacks. Drew Saxton, unfortunately, out with a concussion tonight. We'll get to see the other 3 shine. Going to be led by Ian Kipp, the transfer coming in his first year with the Spartans. And, he's shown a strong ability, dual threat, both on the ground and the air. And this will be kind of his, debut, first chance to really get a start for the Spartans.
Well, he certainly doesn't get an easy task this week going up against the Carnegie Mellon defense. It's probably been the best in the conference this year. Andrew, talk a little bit about the Carnegie Mellon defense, some of the people that they have, some of their different options they have.
Yeah, it's a tough defense. It's big, it's athletic, and they're well coached, and that usually leads to success.
Well, we'll hear a little bit more about it. Greg Deblack sat down with me earlier in the week and spoke a little bit about Carnegie Mellon previewing this game. Let's take a listen.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
And good evening and welcome to DeSanto Field, Senior Day for the Spartans as Case Western Reserve University gets set for the Academic Bowl against Carnegie Mellon University. I'm John Schwartz, alongside me head coach Greg Deblack. Coach, we'll talk about the seniors, we'll talk about today's game. I do want to go back and talk briefly about last week's game against Westminster. Obviously a chance for the team to come into this game with a chance for playoff implications. Just didn't work out in the end. A hard-fought defensive battle. Take us through that game and what happened with the team there.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought game. I mean, it was an intense game, very physical. Had our opportunities, unfortunately, turned the ball over too many times. That's usually what it gets down to. But kids played hard. They gave it their all, and, we had a shot to win at the end, and again, just made too many mistakes to do that. But, hey, moving on, great opportunity here against a very strong Carnegie Mellon team, a rivalry game, seniors' last game at home. So, yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere.
I want to talk about the senior class as a whole, but first I want to single one senior out in particular, technically a fifth-year senior in Drew Saxton. Drew's going to graduate with every passing record in program history, and there's some impressive quarterbacks that came before him. Talk a little bit about Drew, his legacy, what he's meant to the program over the last 4 years as the quarterback of this team.
Yeah, and we've had some great quarterbacks in our program, so that's number one, to be the all-time leader in pretty much all categories. That's pretty special considering the competition, the Dan Whalens, from the earlier years that I was here, and then Rob Kuda, who's one of the best players in the country when he played. So that speaks a lot. But I think just Drew as a person, leader, how he's admired by his teammates, how his stature in the PAC. He's a Western PA kid, and I mean, it's kind of a joke, a running joke with him that everybody wants to talk to him after the game, and he's very accommodating and nice. He's just a very good person. So, that's what I think I'll remember about him the most. I mean, great player, but just a great leader and great person.
I do want to talk about the whole senior class here, and every time we brought him up, I think over the last year or two, you've talked about resiliency being the key word for them. Talk about that word when it relates to this class and what they've overcome over the course of the last 4 years or 5 years for some of them.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody had to go through the pandemic, but I think the conditions at Case, might have been a little bit different. So I really feel for what they had to go through. A lot of the guys that came in with them are not here, and that's just kind of, again, because of the way the pandemic went, people made their decisions. So the guys that stayed, I think in my heart, I'll always have a place for them and admire what they went through and how they handled it.
They'll have one more shot of resiliency this weekend when they try to bounce back from last week's loss and then take on Carnegie Mellon. Chance to play spoilers, certainly, on a perfect season for Carnegie Mellon. A chance to end the season on a positive note, and a chance to win the Academic Bowl, which, as you talked about, is one of the team's goals. What does this game mean to the team, and how do you refocus them coming into this game after last week's loss?
I think it's certainly not about spoiling anybody's season. I think whatever our records are, this is an important game to both programs. So yeah, tough loss, but we came off some tough losses, earlier this year against especially Johns Hopkins, and just responded very well. So that's what I'm expecting. The kids will love the opportunity to play against a great team. They love playing in front of their friends, their families, and this will be the last time for the seniors. So I mean, I'm really not worried about how they're going to respond. The concern is we're playing against a great football team, and what do we have to do, to be there and win the game. So that's what our focus is, and that's where the kids are focused in. They'll bring the intensity. That won't be an issue. Again, looking forward to seeing a great football game.
You talk about Carnegie Mellon being a great team, and certainly they are, but in particular a great defense. What do you do offensively to counter that strong defensive opponent that you're facing this week?
Yeah, I think what stands out about their defense is how many turnovers they force. I think they forced over 30 turnovers, and they're one of the tops in the nation in that, and that's how they're winning. They've won a lot of close football games. They've actually won 2 football games without scoring an offensive touchdown, which sounds pretty crazy, but they've done it twice. So that's the style of football they play, and how do you counter that? You have to protect the football. You have to be patient. You have to be willing to punt the ball and be patient, and sometimes for an offensive coach like I am, that's hard to do. Your goal is to score points on every possession you have it, but I think the guys understand how we need to play, and last week was a perfect example.
Attention fans, at this time we ask that you please direct your attention to the field as Case Western Reserve honors its 17 graduating football student athletes who will play in their final regular season home game as Spartans tonight. The class, which includes several players in their 5th year on the team, has gone 29-11 overall with a 25-9 PAC record since 2018, while winning the PAC championship and making an NCAA playoff appearance in 2019. You can read more about the individual seniors on pages 4 and 5 of today's game program. And now to meet the seniors in alphabetical order. First, a defensive lineman from St. Petersburg, Florida. He is an aerospace and mechanical engineering major and the son of Randy and Juana. Number 97, R.J. Ayers. Next, an offensive lineman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is a mechanical engineering major and the son of Paul and Stacy. Number 73, Joshua Blamer. Next, an offensive lineman from Dix Hills, New York. He is an aerospace engineering major and the son of Sal and Laura. Number 61, Paul Bruno. Next, a wide receiver from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a mechanical engineering major and the son of Don and Lynn. Number 5, Lucas DeCaro. Next, an offensive lineman from Hopewell, Pennsylvania. He is a chemical engineering major and the son of Joseph and Michelle. Number 79, Connor Forrest. Next, a linebacker and tight end from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's currently working toward his master's degree in engineering and management and is the son of Jerry and Debbie. Number 9, Alex Glatz. Next, a defensive lineman from Pittsford, New York. He is a finance major and the son of Sean and Linda. Number 54, Michael Kelly. Next, a wide receiver from Stowe, Ohio. He's a finance major and the son of Patrick and Michelle. Number 84, Tim Luketich. Next, a linebacker from Westview, Pennsylvania. He is a mechanical engineering major and the son of Mike and Sandy. Number 11, Brandon Manning. Next, a defensive back from Oceanport, New Jersey. He is a mechanical engineering major and the son of Chris and Laura. Number 23, Jack McCrae. Next, a running back from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a business major and the son of John and Jan. Number 1, Antonio Orsini. Next, an offensive lineman from Avon Lake, Ohio. He's a chemical engineering and environmental studies major and the son of Leanne, number 74, R.J. Prussia. Next, a quarterback from South Fayette, Pennsylvania. He is an exercise science major and the son of Stu and Charmaine. Number 3, Drew Saxton. Next, a defensive lineman from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's a finance major and currently working toward his master's degree in supply chain management and is the son of Christopher and Kim. Number 50, Jacob Shepanik. Next, a defensive back from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's working toward his master's degree in finance and is the son of Mark and Debbie. Number 2, Colin Schuster. Next, a wide receiver from Painesville, Ohio. He is a business management major and the son of Joe and Lee. Number 19, Michael Wykowski. Our final senior is a defensive back from Mentor, Ohio. He is an accounting major and the son of Dan and Crystal. Number 14, DJ Wolf.
And welcome back into DeSanto Field as the senior class being honored here. The team going to get together for one final picture before they begin the game today as Case Western Reserve and Carnegie Mellon University getting together for the 36th playing of the Academic Bowl. You know, Andrew, special day here as always on Senior Day. In this class in particular, a group that has gone through a lot. The word Coach Debelak used was resilient when he spoke about them. They went through the pandemic together, came out on the other side, and it really bonded them together because this group that stuck through tended to be a group that lived together a lot, that stayed together. So really a special group and a special night for them as they get set to take on Carnegie Mellon one last time. It's a nice picture of them all there together. But of course, a number of players, serious contributors on this team, whether it's someone like Josh Blamer, the left tackle for the last 3 years for the team, or Drew Saxton, the all-time leading passer, or someone like Antonio Orsini, who came in late but has had such an impact on the running game for the team. It really is a very, very impactful senior class.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of the team's culture for the last couple years, and like you mentioned, with all the COVID stuff that went on, this is probably the most unconventional 4-year stretch you're going to have as a college football player, but credit to these guys for sticking together and being able to continue to improve. I mean, this team, you can see a market improvement over the last couple years, and you know, the senior day stuff is nice, but now it's time to focus on what we're all here for. Time to focus on the game. Yeah. Hug your mom. Well, let her go to the sidelines. Now it's showtime.
Well, let's talk a little bit just briefly about the game here and about the improvement, as you mentioned, with the team. One of the areas they've really improved in is the defense as well, and we've seen that in the last few games. And it should be another game today where we see that defense against the Carnegie Mellon team that at times has struggled to score the ball. So we'll see what the Case Western Reserve defense could do with them. Of course, facing a good defense in their own right here today, so that should be interesting. The captains will head out there. It looks like it will be Schuster and Orsini by themselves today, but they will be accompanied by Lou Stark, the senior VP for Student Affairs here at Case Western Reserve University, who's going to be retiring at the end of the year, so this is his final football game as a Spartan. Drew is heading out there, which will be nice. Again, Drew Saxton not expected to play. You see he's not in uniform today. So the captains will head out for one final time, all three seniors. Just minutes away from the start of the 2022 Academic Bowl. Well, we'll be getting going a little bit late here today, so I imagine the blood will be pumping on the sidelines a little bit today, Andrew. It'll be both teams ready to get out there and do it. The game obviously at 2 o'clock start to begin with, but was pushed back due to women's soccer hosting the NCAA championships here today. As we head down
Carnegie
to
Mellon
coin toss.
has won the toss and is elected to defer their option to the second half. Case Western will receive at this end of the field. Gentlemen, shake hands. Good luck. Have fun.
So the Spartans will receive the opening kickoff and head north.
And before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out. Women's soccer team, great job today getting the win. 6-1 at home. Looking forward to them continuing to keep that rolling. Men's soccer team unfortunately dropped their playoff game, but congrats on a great season. Really strong program. Looking forward to what they have in store. And, you know, it's really been a good year for the athletic department so far. Multiple teams in the postseason. And, you know, football team's not necessarily going to get there this year, but like we touched on, this is a big one. Doesn't matter if this is the only win you get all year, it'll leave a good taste in your mouth at the end.
Coach Debelak talks so much about goals with his team and building those goals and creating them at the beginning of the season. One of his goals is always beat Carnegie. He said that's always at the top of the goal board. So obviously they want to win the conference championship. They want to get into the NCAA tournament and win a playoff game. But beat Carnegie is always at the top of the goal board. And we'll see again today if Case Western Reserve can go out there and accomplish one of their major goals this year, and that's to beat Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah, and one way just to frame that, whenever Case has a bye week, so you get a bye week to kind of do whatever you want from a schematic standpoint, every year, no matter when that bye week is, time is spent on Carnegie Mellon, whether it's week 2, middle of the season like it was this year. The coaches take a couple days, and, you know, even though it's not the next game coming up, they do spend time game planning, getting ready for Mellon, and getting the kids focused on this last week of the year.
So we are set for kickoff here. Cole Hanna puts the ball on the tee for the Tartans. He'll kick off. Back to receiver Orsini and Dusler for the Spartans. Orsini sliding into that return role in recent weeks in place of Ethan Dahlem, who is out today with an injury. Opening kickoff, and the Academic Bowl is underway. It'll be taken by Orsini at the 5. He calls for a fair catch, and that's where the drive will start. Pardon me, at about the 10.
And this will be really where the game is dictated. So if you look at Carnegie Mellon, what type of team are they? Offense, they're 6th in the PAC as far as scoring offense. Defense, however, 1st in the PAC, 15th in the country. They're only giving up 11.3 points per game. If Case wants to have any chance of winning this game, these are the units that it's going to come down to. Again, we touched on Ian Kipp's going to go out there and get the start at quarterback with Drew Saxton being out. Time for him to step up. Let's see what he's got. He's been nice in we'll say a rotational role up until this point in the year, but really his first, full start on the season.
We'll get a bit of a different look here for the Spartans with 3 backs, 2 wide receivers. Kipp at quarterback, again, has potential to run here. And he carries forward. Orsini on the handoff.
And 2 names you're going to hear a lot tonight, and it's going to sound repetitive because they have the same last name. Robert and Thomas Corey, 2 outside linebackers for the Tartans out there. Between them, 22 tackles for loss in one season, which is outstanding production. So you're going to see number 8 and number 9 flying around out there for the Tartans defense.
Gain of 1 on that one for Orsini. Now an empty backfield here for Kipp with 5 wide receivers. Kipp looks to the sideline. 2nd and 9 coming up. Kipp takes a snap, looks to throw, far side, and incomplete. No flag on the play.
Yeah, it looked a little early. We'll maybe get a look here on the replay, but that Tartan defense is buzzing around out there. You can see they got good energy. One of the more different things that they do is they'll take their outside linebacker. You saw Corey out there in coverage. they kind of bump their outside linebacker into the boundary. It's just a little bit of a different look. But good play, able to break on the ball and gets the Spartans in 3rd and long here.
So they'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Orsini, the lone back after being the intended receiver, lining up wide on the previous play. Kip takes a snap, looks to throw, will roll out of the pocket. He can move, but the defense covering quick. He'll throw down the sideline. Turning late is Wykowski, and the pass lands incomplete, and so that'll force a 4th and long and likely a punt for the Spartans.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a lot tonight. Kip, for one reason or another, he really likes to roll to his right. He's a really good athlete. He's got the legs and got the ability to pick up the yardage if it's in front of him, but Tartan defense, and now I'm realizing Spartans and Tartans, we're going to have to make sure we're on top of it tonight. But Tartan defense able to clamp it down, and like we said, they're only giving up 11.3 points per game. It's going to be tough sledding all night for the Spartans.
So I'll send Joseph Rhodes back to punt. He's been a weapon for the Spartans in the field position game. The punt comes near side, take a hop and land at about the 42 before it goes out of bounds, and that's where Carnegie Mellon will start their first offensive possession of the game.
Yeah, and as we look at the Tartan offense, so again, 26.5 points per game. More of a balanced attack, passing offense. They're going to be, let's see, about 190 yards per game. Not a ton. Rushing, 99 yards per game. Total offense, only 290. It's pretty rare in the college game today to see a team under 300 yards of offense and be undefeated on the season. Kind of a strange combo, but it's a 3-phase game for them. The defense is really what they rely on and sets the offense up well.
Ben Mills, the sophomore quarterback, looks to throw, almost intercepted, as on the coverage was Dominic Says. Intended receiver on the play was Chris Hughes.
That was a bullet.
Pardon me, that was Ben Condemi, the intended receiver.
We watched Mills in warm-up a little bit. I don't know if I saw that down there, and granted, it was snowing sideways during warm-up, so tough to get a good read on the ball, but good play by the defense, getting 2nd and long here to start for the Tartans.
The wintry mix has subsided for now, as another throw for Mills comes near side. That one is caught, and for a short gain there, going out of bounds, will be Chris Hughes.
Good play by Schuster, who is, we'll say, 8th year senior, 7th year? Schuster's been around for a long time, one of the leaders on the defense at that cornerback position. So now we got the Tartans in 3rd and 8, and this will be a theme of the night. Both defenses are going to be able to clamp down. They're similar in that they're both swarming. They're going to, even if they allow you to get the catch, they're going to come up and limit the yards after.
Mills from the shotgun, looks to throw again, near side, incomplete, and a 3 and out for the Tartans. So the defense is ruling early here, and that'll force another punt, this time from Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah, it's going to be a field position game. Looking over at the Carnegie Mellon punting unit, they're actually 1st in the conference net punting, getting 35 yards per kick, and when you pair a good, solid special teams with that defensive unit that they have, that's how they can really put their offense in a good position to win.
Casey Jabe, the senior, set to punt here. Lined up back at his own 30. High snap, he corrals it and sends the punt away. Nicely done. Fair catch called by Yoder, who pulls it inside the Spartans' 25, and that's where the second possession of the game will begin for Case Western Reserve.
Yeah, a little back and forth to start, and you can kind of sense whoever the first team is, it's either going to get a turnover, a big chunk play, a big field position play. That team's going to have a huge advantage from an energy and a momentum standpoint. But, if I had to guess, I would imagine it's going to be a little bit of a feel-out session at the beginning. You're going to have to, see is Carnegie Mellon going with something different? Is it the same defense they've played for 15 years? What does Case have up their sleeve?
And Carnegie Mellon, first time the Spartans will see them with their new head coach in Ryan Larson. As Kip drops back, avoids the rush, trying to find an opening. He'll tuck and throw now and gets it out of bounds as he got out of the pocket just long enough to throw that one away. And so that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And you see Thomas Corey able to really close him down, good closing speed. And when you have a guy that has, Thomas of the Corey bunch, he's got 7.5 TFLs. He can really run.
Yeah,
much less compared to his brother, he's got 14.5 on the season.
Thomas and Robert Corey, and a now long line of Coreys who have played for Carnegie Mellon.
I was going to say, it seems like there's been 10 of them at this point.
And they're all good.
Yeah.
It's a reoccurring nightmare for quarterbacks in the PAC. And speaking of hit in the backfield, Robert Corey. And boy, that was a tremendous hit on Kip, who was trying to just, on the draw, take that up the middle.
Yep. If you're a linebacker, you always want the ball carrier going backwards, and Corey was able to get that done on that play. So, again, Case Western getting behind the chains, that's not going to be a recipe for success. You want to make it easy on yourself. This Tartan defense, you can see them all crowded up at the line here. It's really going to be a pain. Who's coming? Who's dropping? It's going to cause a lot of confusion for Kip.
Loss of 2 on the play for Kip, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. 12:15 to go here in the opening quarter. Scoreless game so far. One back, that's Orsini. Kip looks to throw, and he tries to avoid the rush, slips, and I believe lost the ball. Let's see, or did he hold on, or are they going to call him down? The officials are going to talk about it as we take a look at the replay here.
Oh, we got the old tuck rule coming.
Yeah. And again, it comes down to, was his arm going forward? The pressure was all over Kip there, and let's see what the call is.
The ruling on the field is a fumble by the offense, recovered by the defense at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, CMU.
So a costly fumble there. And Andrew, that's what you were talking about, the two teams defensively, sort of which one could make the big play that would turn things around. And now Carnegie Mellon, in what proves or should be a defensive battle day, has a chance from a yard out to potentially take the early lead.
Yeah, and this is a case you wonder why Carnegie Mellon's able to have less than 300 yards and still win the games. Well, their defense sets them up on the 1-yard line. That's how that's going to work.
So an early test here as the run up the middle, and the Spartans get the stop. Believe. Yep, so a stop at about the 1.
Yeah, it looked like they put in Joey McGinnis, the 4th there. Went with a little bit of a wildcat formation, packed everybody in tight, and credit to the Spartan defense, able to clamp it down. And, you know, at this point, you got to make them work for it. There's a reason they get 4 downs. They're going to take all those to try and get it in there. But
4 downs, 3 timeouts. It looks like Carnegie Mellon will use one of theirs here to talk this over, I believe. Seems to be some confusion.
There is no timeout on the previous play. 1st and 10, CMU.
So it looks like someone tried to call a timeout. They didn't grant it, I'm guessing. So this is 1st and 10.
Yeah, they blew it dead.
And once again, it'll be McGinnis, and this time he's in. So Joey McGinnis, the 4th, rushing up the middle on the Wildcat formation and getting the touchdown, and Carnegie Mellon jumps out on top early, 6-0 the score. Let's take another look at that.
Yeah, it took him 2 tries. And there he's in.
Threw his body over the top of the pack, got just enough space to get in there, and the Tartans take the early lead.
And if you're Case Western, you can't do that. You know that the Tartans are going to have a, you know, as they've shown this year, not the easiest time moving the football from an offensive perspective, but when you give it to them on the 1-yard line, almost every team in America is going to be able to punch it in like that.
Hannah on the extra point, it's good. And Carnegie Mellon takes a 7-0 advantage. A flag comes in late, and I believe it's going to be called against Sean Torres, who seemed to have a bit of a reaction to the play. So maybe a costly penalty to add on.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 36 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty would be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, it's an emotional game. It's a rivalry game. Case Western, you know, as we've touched on, out of the playoff picture, but
so we'll go to a quick break here, and we'll come back. Case Western Reserve trailing 7-0.
Break rules and spark revolutions. We ball, boss up, shatter records and ceilings and expectations, and at the end of all that,
we still end up with less.
Welcome back to DeSanto Field as Case Western Reserve University now trailing 7-0 to Carnegie Mellon. And a kickoff coming from the 50-yard line after the penalty. So in a game that Coach Debelak said was going to be about field position, some early challenges to the Spartans on that. will be taken by Dusler in the end zone, just at the edge of it. Boy, that was probably placed about as well as you could.
Yep,
if you're
but
Hannah there.
They'll bring it out. They'll put it on it's either the 20 or the 25. So Case Western coming out, and again, this is the story of the night. They got to be able to move the ball against Carnegie Mellon. They got to score points. You almost feel like this will be whatever the first team to get to 20 is, that'll be the team that's able to come away with it. But certainly has looked difficult for the Spartans to come out and start. It looks like they're looking to establish the pass. Not sure if that's a product of just not liking the matchups up front for the run game, or if that's something they see on the backside. But definitely pass heavy. The fumble last possession, we'll see if they stick to that or not.
3-back set again for Kip, 2 receivers wide. He'll hand off this time to Orsini, who came across the field, and then is swallowed up by a swarm of Tardans before a flag is thrown at the end of the play. Looked like Orsini picked up about a yard or 2. Or pardon me, loss of a few there.
Well, he's going to get it tacked on here. Looks like we got a personal foul, and time for everybody to catch their breath. Each team got one. Now we can relax and play football.
Well, you spoke about
After
it, Andrew.
Play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 40. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
You spoke about it, Andrew. It's a series that is so heated that they're going to get into it a little bit out there in the field. And, in fact, one of the more famous, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in this series came a couple years ago. I believe you were on the field for back in 2017. So.
Yep, Luke Bedell. Shout out to you for saving the season.
This will be Kip on the keeper, and he's got a little bit of room to work. And past the 50 for Kip, who has his first big gain of the day, and a first down for the Spartans.
Yeah, not only his first big, but for the offense. Other than that flag, they weren't doing anything. So that could be another wrinkle that they go with, the read option game. It's not something that Coach Debelak and Coach Slesh's offense typically contains, but you gotta throw everything that you got here today.
1st and 10 from the 49. Orsini pushes forward for a few yards. Looks like a gain of about 2 on the play, and that'll set up a 2nd and 8 from the 47.
Yeah, and this Carnegie Mellon defense, you think at all 3 levels, it's always going to be a stout defensive line. We've talked about the Corey clan going over at linebacker. You got Hegde there at the safety position. He's been around for a couple years making plays, and like I said, it's a 3-level defense. They got playmakers all across the board, and that's how you end up only giving up 11 points per game.
Kip with the snap. Throws it to Orsini in the flat, and he's taken down for a loss. Right back at midfield.
Yep. Carnegie Mellon's going to take that matchup every day. The matchup wasn't necessarily Orsini on a defensive back there. It was Coyne blocking from the wide receiver position. You had him matched up with Corey, the linebacker, and he's able to get off the block, make the one-on-one tackle. So, again, it seems like we're doing it each drive here. 3rd and 11 now for the Spartans, and this is where they've had trouble protecting Kip. Tartan defense is kind of able to pin their ears back and really get after the quarterback.
Kip will go empty backfield again from the shotgun. Looks to his right, now throws. Nice ball downfield, but a little too much air under it. Coyne couldn't quite catch up to it. 2 defenders on him as well. And that will bring up a 4th and 11 and bring the punt unit back out to the field. Yeah, Coach Debelak, he'll play the field position game here. Kind of in no man's land there on the 50. You're not going to go for it 4th and 11, so they'll get Rhodes out there, hopefully get a nice little roll and pin the offense back there. The throw's a little long, but kind of the first time we've seen Kip air it out today, and he throws a nice ball. He's had a couple. He's usually pretty good at attacking the seams. We've seen a couple long pass plays this year, and when you pair that with his ability on the ground, it usually moves the ball pretty well. Rhodes punt fielded inside the 20. As quickly tackled is Dominic Voiland. And so the Spartans on good punt coverage there. And the Tardans will start from their own, looks like 17-yard line. Okay, so you've seen so far, we got another flag on the other side there. We've seen so far, the Spartans aren't going to have a real easy time moving the ball. So this defense, this is a huge chance. Go hunting for the ball, get a turnover, see if you can get a short
During
field.
the kick, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 2. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. First down, CMU.
Well, the special teams guys getting their licks in today. It's been ugly so far. It's been, what, 3rd personal foul or 3rd 15-yarder, and stuff like that can really change the game. You got 2 tough defenses here. If you're going to grant them 15 extra yards, it's really going to help out both offenses. So 9:49 to go in the first quarter. Pass from Mills, just out of the reach of Hughes on the far side of the field.
Yeah, and it was there. That play was there. They ran the jet motion, faked it, and then they had Hughes there in the flat. Mills just not able to complete it.
Trying to think, I don't think we've seen a handoff yet to Vasiliadis, who's a really talented running back, coming off an injury earlier in the year.
He was good. He was really good last year. So, rivalry game Academic Bowl last year was in Pittsburgh. Coach Lackner's last game had a ton of alumni there, and in 21 was able to really get the ball moving a year ago.
There's Vasiliadis, who gets his first handoff of the day, carries it past the 30. And it looks like up to about the 34. See where they spot it. 33 it'll end up on. And so 3rd and 9 coming up.
I don't think we've had 3rd and short for either team. Both defenses playing well early. And they know year in and year out, these offenses are usually pretty consistent. And conversely, the defenses as well. So it really turns into a chess match between these two teams who can bring out something new, something they haven't seen in the last decade.
So one back for Mills, and the Spartans jump. So a free play, a long throw down the field, lands incomplete, but I believe an offsides there against Case Western Reserve coming, and so Carnegie will get another shot at a 3rd down. A chance
Offside,
here.
defense, number 20. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And the offside called on Marco Toth, who has been so good this year.
Yeah, it's every game that we've done, it's almost a different linebacker or different 2 linebackers. They all show up. There's 5 or 6 of them. Any one week, like I said, 1 or 2 of them is going to have a breakout game. So it's really good. It's really easy for Coach Warren Miller to call the defense when he can send different guys and know it's going to be a positive output no matter who's going.
Seemed like a real turning point for this defense this year was when they got Ryan Cabrera back at the other outside linebacker position, allowed them to move Sakalo back to safety, really allowed them to be more aggressive. Is passing and taken down is Mills in the backfield. That is A.J. Dudowski with the sack.
That was a great play, able to get him on the ground. Not going to call it a full coverage sack, but the DBs did give just enough time. Mills had to pump fake, and then Dudowski was there to get him on the ground. See if Case Western, it looked like the first time that they had the punt return team out there, looks like they went for the block. If I know Coach Debelak, it's usually something that he sees in film study, and if he does it once, he's going to do it again. So look for them to maybe come after this and see if they can flip the field.
So Jay back to punt, standing at his own 13. Kick is away. Calling for a fair catch is Yoder, and he secures it up at the 45, and so Case Western Reserve, again, good field position to start this drive. They'll start at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, and we'll see. It's, traditionally throughout the course of the 2022 season, Coach Debelak has pulled out multiple quarterbacks, sometimes multiple quarterbacks on the field at the same time. We'll see if they go to it this drive. It's usually somewhere in the first quarter. Once he lets the starter get settled, he'll start flipping in some different formations. Looks like Kip is going to be the only one out there. They've really been going with this full house backfield to start. 2 H-backs, 2 fullbacks, whatever you want to call them, with Orsini in the backfield. So looking to play the numbers and pick up some extra blockers in there.
So with Wade and James in the backfield, fakes the handoff to Orsini. Now the throw deep downfield. That's Fromberg, who gets turned around. Was blocked out by the defensive back. Spartans wanted a flag but don't get it. Good coverage there by Adrian Williams. I believe is coming off a D3Football.com Team of the Week honor his last time out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good coverage. Home crowd obviously didn't agree, but Adrian Williams, number 20, he's going to be the tough one to challenge. He's got 5 interceptions on the year in only 9 games, which is really strong. Gives you an idea of the type of athlete and more importantly, the type of ball hawk that he is out there.
So 2nd and 10. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Orsini in motion. Comes set at Kip's right. Now dropping back to pass the throw near side. Caught by Fromberg, who carries it forward past the 50 up to the 47-yard line of Carnegie Mellon.
There's my favorite backup quarterback. Fromberg can come in. He can throw it. He can run it. He can catch it. And as you see here, he's going to take Mr. Williams for a little bit of a ride and pick up some yards after catch. And this is the first time, I've said it a couple times now, it's been 3rd and long for both offenses. Probably the first 3rd and short that the Spartans have had. Huge play here. Got to get some momentum coming back to him.
3rd and 2, options for Kip and Coach Debelak as the play gets called. Orsini, the lone man in the backfield, comes now set at Kip's left as the handoff comes to Orsini. He cuts through and lots of space to work. Up past the 40 to the 35 where he's taken down just on the other side of the 35, and a big run there on 3rd and short, and the Spartans have something cooking here in the first quarter.
Yes, they do. Get those chains set. They're looking to go tempo here. Keep it rolling.
Quick move. We've seen this a lot from Coach Debelak and the Spartans. When one play works, run it again, and they do that there with a quick handoff to Orsini.
Yeah, I would give some credit there to the safety, Nolan Pitzenberger, number 14. Orsini's he's a load to take down in the open field. He's very difficult. He's shifty. He's powerful. Great play for the Spartans. That's probably only the second actual, positive chunk play that they've had. Seemed like all the momentum was on the Tartans' defensive side, and that's a huge first down. Can't overstate it enough.
So 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard gain by Orsini. Again, pressure on Kip, who scrambles, looking to throw, and he coughs up the football, fumbled at the 40. Let's see who fell on it, as he was taken down in the backfield, and it will be Carnegie Mellon football.
Yeah, it's a great play. Great defensive play. Thought it was going to work out. Orsini got a great block on Corey coming off the edge. That swarming Tartans defense able to get in there, active hands. If you're a quarterback, you got to keep it's why it's probably the toughest job on the field. You got to keep your eyes looking downfield for the receiver, consider running, and then, you got 3 monsters from the D-line running at you. So, second turnover of the day. Thought Case Western had something cooking there on the offensive side, but like we said, turnovers are really dictated for these two offenses in their field position.
That was Mitchell Stokey with the strip stack for Carnegie Mellon, as the handoff this time comes to Willem Boma, who we'll see for the first time today. Andrew, we've been waiting for Willem to get in the game, and this is something that we went back and forth on text when we first saw that there was a running back named Willem Boma for Carnegie Mellon. There's a former Case Western Reserve pitcher, not from the same area, who was named Willem Boma, and I badly want to know if the two are related. I don't think they are.
They can't be, because Case Western's Willem Boma is 6'11", it seems like. He's probably the tallest guy we ever had on the team, and he was a pitcher. And then you got this little stocky running back out there for Carnegie Mellon. So they'll go with the 2-back approach, splitting carries between 21 and 5 as we've seen so far. But, again, this Tartan offense, they haven't really done much outside of getting the ball on the 1-yard line so far.
Another handoff here to Bauma. Up the middle, past the 40 to the 45, where he's taken down.
One thing we haven't touched on, a real hallmark of the Tartan offense, each year they have a designated tight end that they are going to motion and shift every single play. I think it was Carl Coombe in the past. This year looks like Matt Everett is going to be our motion all-star. So they usually bring that H-back or tight end across the formation. There's no real tendency with it. They'll do it on run plays. They'll do it on pass plays as well. Able to set up 3rd and medium here. And again, other than getting the ball in plus territory, the Spartans defense has been able to really put a clamp on them.
So Mills from the shotgun. Bauma lined up to his left. Here comes the pass, pressure. Mills rolls out of it, throws over to Bauma, but it's incomplete as it hits the ground, and we'll get another punt coming up here.
Yeah, it's been, all the momentum in the world has been on CMU's side so far, and at the end of the day, they're punting. They're only up 7-0. It's still a 1-score game. We've talked a lot about how, the Tartan offense has struggled this year, so what does that tell me? Case Western's going to be in this game. They're going to have chances. They have to capitalize on those chances, and again, it's probably going to be the first team that gets to 20, in my mind, would be who's going to have the best chance here. Another chance for the punt return unit, see if they can get a block, get a turnover, and help out the offense where they can.
Jabe to punt, Yoder back to receive for the Spartans. Yoder's been handling the punt return duties the last few games, calls for the fair catch there, fields it on a line drive. And that is where the Spartans will start, right at about the 23-yard line as the field position game continues.
Okay, it's like Groundhog Day. Here we are again.
It seems like it's this familiar pattern. Again, Coach Debelak said before the game this was going to be a field position game, and it's certainly been that so far today, for sure.
Field position and turnovers. When you look at Case Western trying to spring the upset, and given records and playoff berth already being clinched by Carnegie, this would be an upset. People around the country are watching, trying to get an idea of what CMU is going to do in the playoffs, and a lot of eyes on this game, and Case Western has a chance to show, even if we're not making the playoffs, we're tough out. We're not a team you want to play no matter what time of the year it is.
See if Kip can get into a little bit of a rhythm here as he hands off to Orsini, carries it up to, looks like about the 29.
So far it's been all Mr. Orsini. Haven't seen Gage Dusler out there yet. A lot of times they'll switch off drives. It'll be pretty apparent. You'll see the Dusler drive, the Orsini drive, and they'll flip back and forth. But so far, just Antonio. He's a Western PA kid, Pittsburgh kid. A lot of guys on the Case Western team are, and that's why you'll see some of the chirping back and forth. They've been playing against these guys for 6-7 years.
Ball up to the 24-yard line, so it's a 2nd and 9, and the pass complete over the middle of the coin, who's wrapped up and carried forward. See where they give him forward progress to. Looks like it'll be past the 35 up to about the 36, so a first down for the Spartans.
Yeah, and there you go. It's going to have to be both. It's going to have to be on the ground. It's going to have to be through the air as well. And Kip has shown he can throw a nice, pretty deep ball. It's the intermediate and the short passes that he's going to have to stay focused, take your layups, and just keep the chains moving if they're going to have success tonight.
And looking for Kip to get into some kind of rhythm here. Not easy to do against a very talented defense. Another handoff to Orsini, who again has space before he's finally bottled up. The initial hit came from Hedgie on the play.
And they look good. They're starting to put together a couple chunk plays. I'd certainly say they look better than the Tartan offense so far. And, that it can all be for naught. If you come down here and you keep turning the ball over like they have, it's not going to result in points on the scoreboard, which is the ultimate goal here.
3:34 clock ticking here in the opening quarter. It's been a long first quarter with both teams throwing the ball so far. Another throw comes here, off target looking for Coyne. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it was there. Couldn't really tell who got a hand up. Might have been linebacker Kevin Cook. Might have been somebody on the inside. This is a big defense. You look going across. Mitchell Stokey, 250. Eric Hoffel, 6'3", 320. So they definitely got some size inside. You pair it up with these linebackers, the Corys that are able to go out there and really run ball carriers down. That's how you really put a lid on the offense and get them in 3rd long like they've shown.
The Carnegie Mellon defense, just such a great combination of size, speed. They really are a challenge for any team. Is that ball? Another handoff to Orsini, who is starting to get into a bit of a rhythm of his own, carries past the 45 up to the 44 for the first down.
Yeah, if I had to say, okay, what play do I want to draw up for Antonio Orsini to be successful? Over the last 2 years, we've seen pistol formation. You're going zone concept, either right or left. Let him find the lane and go. And able to move the chains there. He's starting to feel a little bit of a rhythm. This is probably where they go play action, maybe take a shot. Those safeties are really starting to creep down. You got to prove that you can throw the ball deep.
Well, and Orsini was one of the few Spartans who had success last year against Carnegie Mellon in that 24-6 loss. 111 yards and a touchdown for Antonio. As that one caught by Coyne. Good job to hold on to it as he gets it up to the 36-yard line.
And they are going right at Adrian Williams. I think almost every completion has been either to Coyne or to Williams, or on Williams in some form or fashion. Maybe they like that matchup. Coyne definitely one of the bigger receivers. Williams, although athletic and a ball hawking type, not the biggest guy out there, at least compared to Coyne, he's not.
And we've been waiting for Coyne's breakout game too, with such a talented receiver. He's wearing the number 17, so you sort of expect him to ascend into the Colt Morgan throne, if you will, but obviously it's not as easy as it sounds. But he's been a good receiver this year for the Spartans as that handoff goes to Orsini, who carries up the middle. Not much of a gain there, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
And looking at what the Tartan defense is doing, their linebackers are flying down. The safeties are in the box. You can see, just looking out there, Hegde, he's the free safety or strong safety. I think he switches back and forth. He's lining up 7 or 8 yards off the ball. So he is not concerned for one reason or another about the vertical pass game. At some point, Kip is going to have to prove that he can do that just to loosen it up a little bit.
4 receivers set on 3rd and 3. Lone back Antonio Orsini. 10 seconds left on the play clock here. As it continues to tick down. Here comes the snap with 3 on the play clock. Quick pass over to Coyne, who catches, but nowhere to go. As once again, Williams there to make the tackle. And that'll stop the Spartans short of the first down. The offense still out on the field.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. You've been moving the ball a little bit, and you know, just a little bit outside of Rhodes' field goal range. Let's see. I'm sure Coach Debs has a couple plays drawn up that he's saving either for 2 points or 4th and shorts like this.
And I believe a timeout called.
Timeout, CMU, they're first.
So interesting. Carnegie Mellon calls a timeout. We'll take a timeout here as well. Come back in a second. 4th and 3 when we return.
Have you heard the news? That Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Well, welcome back inside DeSanto Field. 7-0 Carnegie Mellon over Case Western Reserve. The Spartans going for it on 4th and 3. They're 13 of 20 on 4th down attempts this season. Carnegie Mellon has held teams allowing just 8 of 17 4th down conversions. 4th and 3, Kip with Sean Michael James behind him in the backfield. 4 wide receivers set. Now James in motion. Snap to Kip. He'll look to pass. Rush comes, and taking out his legs and getting the sack in the backfield there is Robert Corey again, who has been in the backfield through most of this first quarter. And a turnover on downs for the Spartans.
They are blitzing, and they're blitzing a lot, and they're blitzing heavy. They're bringing 2-3 extra guys, and it's going to come down to your quarterback making a move on these really athletic linebackers, and it's just not going to work out for you. So now Coach Debs has seen it. They'll come into that situation again at some point. He knows they're going to be bringing the blitz, and got to get the ball out. Got to make sure you scheme up the right play, because if you go with that and try to have a long, drawn-out pass play, it's just not going to work out for you.
You know, it's easy to forget for how much he's played that this is Ian Kip's first career start. As the handoff comes near side, Vasiliadis takes it forward past midfield and up to about the 46.
That's a gain of, looks like 5, and that's probably their most positive run play so far. Vasiliadis he's a guy you're going to feed him, you're going to get him carries. You touched on, had some injury problems early in this season, and looks like he's at least back to, close to full strength. You can see the knee brace out there. Probably don't feel real good with the temperatures getting down to 35 degrees, but he's definitely, he's a tough guy to tackle in the open field. And like I said, you got to get him carries, get him worked into the rhythm of the game.
We'll get another carry here. Met just past the line of scrimmage, and taking him down on the play is Nate Sacalo. Nice job by Sacalo to fill the gap there. And that will do it for us here in the first quarter. So Carnegie Mellon, with a short field after a fumble, scores the lone touchdown of the opening quarter. They lead 7-0 over Case Western Reserve in the Academic Bowl. We'll be back. Second quarter coming up in just a few.
We do more. We step up, stand out, break rules, and spark revolutions. We ball, boss up, shatter records and ceilings and expectations, and at the end of all that,
we still end up with less.
Well, what looked like it was going to be a snowy, cold evening here, at least it's not snowy right now, Andrew, as we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, standing out there in pregame, I thought it was going to be a traditional weather game. Now it's not even really that windy. I'd say normal wind for being on the lake, being on the north coast of the U.S. Definitely chilly. I think it was probably 65 degrees the last couple days here in Cleveland, and dipping down into 36, 35 degrees here for a nice Saturday night in Cleveland. But again, we touched on it earlier. A lot of action, a lot of back and forth. You look up at the scoreboard, it's only 7-0. So Case Western is finding a way to stick in this game. They got a 3rd and medium here. Looking for another chance to get off the field. This might be 2-down territory for Carnegie Mellon. We'll see how aggressive they want to be, knowing that they got that defense. They might look to pin Case Western back, but first things first, see what 3rd down brings for us.
Combined 39 yards of offense for the two teams in the opening quarter. This handoff to Vasiliadis, close to the first down marker, and I think he's going to have it at the 42. And then a late flag comes in, and it sounds like that one is, at least looks like it's going to go against Sacalo based on the reaction. officials will talk this one over. They haven't moved the sticks yet.
Looked like he had the first down, and then I think they're trying to figure out what they're going to tack on as well.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 16. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like how much we've seen the flags thrown. It's gone on both sides. I mean, Case Western maybe has one more at this point, but it's football. It's a rivalry game. As long as we're not, and again, I'm not down on the field. I don't know what's being said, but let them play a little bit. Let them get it out of the system. Enjoy the rivalry game.
Mills drops back to pass, looking for the end zone, turning around, and incomplete. Colin Schuster, the senior, knocking that one away.
Schuster with a great play. So many defensive backs in that situation. They end up running into the wide receiver. Don't get their head around. They have no idea where the ball is. Not him. He's experienced. It seems like he's been starting for half a decade at this point, and I think it might actually be 5 years. But great play by him. That's really the first time we've seen Carnegie Mellon take a downfield shot like that. You know, they're kind of in the same mindset as Case. They want to establish the run underneath and then try and pop one over the top there. But all credit to Schuster, again, being in the right position, having ball awareness, and able to make the play.
I believe that was intended for Chris Hughes, and he's another guy who I swear has been there for about 7 years now. Handoff. Vasiliadis taken down before he gets to the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 21. Gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. So 3rd down and 4 coming up.
This again, I would say, without having seen their kicking game too much in warm-ups, maybe 2-down territory here. Vasiliadis has shown that he's able to start getting behind that offensive line and getting 3-4 yards a pop. So we'll see. I would expect run here, maybe a run-pass option.
Hanna is 8 of 11 on field goal attempts this year. There you go. On the near side, Mills working towards the first down. He didn't get there. It'll bring up a 4th down and short, and this will bring up an interesting question now. Do you go for it, or do you try to kick the field goal here?
Looks like they're going to go for it. Looks like they're going tempo, too, not letting Case Western sub necessarily. Look for a quick run up the middle.
And it is the handoff up the middle. Vasiliadis forward, and it looks like he is short.
That looks short.
Well, the Spartans' defense coming up big again. And indeed, it will be a turnover on down.
Not even going to measure. Great job. Great job. They tried to go tempo there. They really got up the line again, not letting Case sub in some of their bigger guys for short yardage. And credit to them. It's all about leverage. It's all about low man winning those battles. And that's huge. Again, 7-0. It's a 1-score game. Got to get the offense going. They've had first downs. It seems like the last couple drives they've at least gotten past their own 40. Just kind of in that 50 to 30 range, getting bogged down, whether it's turnovers, incompletions, anything like that.
Well, and make no mistake, we've spoken a lot tonight about the Carnegie Mellon defense, but this is a Case Western Reserve defense that has really been fantastic in their last few games. 7 points allowed against Bethany, 7 points allowed against Allegheny. Against Westminster, they give up 14, but one came on a short field, the other came on a turnover. So, really, it's been as good a defense as there has been in the PAC in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I would agree, and that's why we're going to end up. I mean, I can't imagine there's going to be much more than 10 more points scored in this first half when we go into halftime here. Both defenses have shown they know their game plan. They're going to stick to it. They play a similar style where they typically only have 3 down linemen, more of a 3-4 look. And they're going to be bringing linebackers. You don't know which 2 are going to come. It's usually 2 on any one given play, and it causes a lot of problems for the offense.
2nd down and 11 after the loss of 1 on first down. Dusler in the backfield, I believe, for the first time tonight. Fakes the handoff, Kip with pressure, throws over the middle. It's Nurek, but just unable to get to it, right out of his reach. That was a beautiful pass and just a little bit long for Nurek.
Kip has that, it's almost a Phillip Rivers-like type delivery. He's got the little sidearm, and he can really sling it. I'm telling you, that throw right there is the one that he was made for. Some guys, they like throwing the comeback. Other guys, the fade. When he's able to rip it up the seam like that, and is just out of the reach of Nurek on that play, I think they're going to put a pin in that one and come back to it.
Well, it's funny because you would imagine he'd have some issues with that almost sidearm release, but he gets the ball out so quickly when he wants to throw. It's just, again, really impressive arm, just such a talent. And putting it to test today against this Carnegie Mellon defense. And whistle blows, and the play clock
Play game.
expired.
Offense number 10. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And so there will be a delay of game there, which will lengthen this 3rd down attempt a little bit more.
And it looks like so far on pretty much every 3rd down, regardless of the distance, Carnegie Mellon has walked up the linebackers. They'll put a bunch of them on the line, and it's your job to pick which ones are actually coming. Here we go. They're going to walk them down. We'll see. 3rd and long, they may drop off.
They'll blitz them here as the pass over the top again, but out of bounds as Isaiah Arrington, the intended receiver. But that one well off to the sideline. And so another punt situation here as Joseph Rhodes will come back out. Well, Andrew, so far the defensive battle I think we were expecting to get today, 7-0, and really it's been a story of the two defenses.
Yeah, and you touched on it. In the first quarter, we had less than 100 yards of offense combined between these two teams, and they're both talented. It's talented rosters on both offenses, but both defenses have shown they're going to have the upper hand today. Good roll there on the punt by Rhodes.
Yeah, that one I believe either went off the side of his foot or might have even been deflected with the pressure coming on, but it takes a favorable roll. Still good field possession here, though, for the Tardans, who will start on the Case Western Reserve side of the field. The Spartans, 46-yard line.
Yeah, and we'll go down the defense just to give some, we'll say, names and faces to the guys that have been shutting it down so far. We got Dodowski, he's already got a sack today. Michael Kelly in the middle. Caden Tong, he's got 1 million tackles for loss in his career in this season. Then Toth, Torres, Trock, and Cabrera at the linebacker level. So that front seven's really been stout today, and look for them to continue that.
Mills set to pass, throws over the middle, and incomplete.
It's been the weirdest thing. The two, I'd say, the Spartans have been targeting Williams when they have the ball, probably their best cover guy. And then when Carnegie Mellon has the ball, they're really going after Schuster, who I would say is the Spartans' best cover guy. So, again, I say it throughout the year. There's a reason I'm up here in the booth and not coaching on the sideline, but interesting. They're going after the two best cover guys on each team, and so far they've risen to the occasion. That's why they have the reputation that they do, and I know Schuster takes a lot of pride in that, being an experienced guy and being one of the leaders on the defense.
Ben Condemi was the intended receiver on that last attempt. Another pass attempt here. This one over the middle. That's Hughes. Did he catch it? He did. Nice play by Hughes, getting inside the Spartan 30. Caught the ball while he was falling down, I believe.
Yeah, it was a pretty good throw. Mills is able to kind of protect him. You see DJ Wolf was kind of lurking over the middle, that free safety. And if you're a quarterback, it's easy to, well, not easy. It's a little more straightforward to complete it and hit him when he's in, running in stride. But you also got to protect him. The free safety's over the middle. Sometimes it works to almost back shoulder it like that. And good job by Mills, able to complete that pass.
So 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Tardans are threatening again here. Handoff to Vasiliadis, who takes it forward. Gain of about 4 on the play. Set up a 2nd and 6 from the 25-yard line.
This is where the Spartans defense, they got to step up. They got to rise to the occasion. We've seen it's going to be tough to put points on the board. Going down 2 scores is really going to make it difficult, especially with Carnegie Mellon getting the ball to start the second half.
Clock ticking, 11:17 left here in the opening half. From the shotgun. Mills takes the snap. He'll keep it here, pass over the top. Hughes open, reaches up and makes the catch in the end zone for the touchdown. Mills just threw that one up and put it in a place where only Hughes could catch it, and he reels it in. And the Tardans now take a 13-0 lead.
Great pass. Mills is coming off his back foot. You saw Case brought the heat there, brought a blitz. Mills is able to kind of just flick it out there. Hughes, who I would say has been their most targeted and most productive receiver through the pass game so far tonight, able to make that catch as well, and chance to go up already up 2 scores, but chance to go up 14 here on Case Western with that defense. They're only giving up 11 a game. That lead can start to get pretty daunting.
Extra point is good by Hanna. That's the 6th touchdown catch of the year for Hughes, the 11th touchdown pass of the season for Mills. We'll take a break. 14-0. Carnegie Mellon leading Case Western Reserve.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant. Locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
Well, early on here, the Tardans showing why they're the 19th ranked team in the country and undefeated on the season. They lead by 2 touchdowns. As Hannah's kickoff into the end zone, and the Spartans will take the touchback and will get possession here at their own 25. 14-0, Carnegie Mellon with the lead.
Yeah, now it's showtime. Whatever you've been sitting on all year, whether it's a screen game, if you have a double pass, a reverse, multiple quarterback looks, you got to pull it out here. You don't want to give the ball back to Carnegie Mellon and give them a chance to go up 3 scores. Got to find a way to keep the chains moving, and most importantly, outside of that, you have to get points on the board, even if it's a field goal. Got to prove that you can score on this defense and kind of break the seal.
We'll see. You feel like Kip is destined for a big play here at some point. He's come close to breaking him through, whether with his legs or his arm. And here it comes with his legs, rushing past the 25, and then gets turned around and taken down just as he passes the 25-yard line. Boy, look there. Well, he got past Corey, but then coming up behind him was Alexander Nelson, who finishes off the play.
Yep, playing football when it's 35 degrees out doesn't feel real great. Having 71 Alex Nelson, who's 6'2", 270, hit you with a full head of steam, that really doesn't feel great. So you get Corey there to at least initiate the tackle, and then Nelson coming up as the closer.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 9 from the 26-yard line. Takes a snap, looking to throw deep down the sideline and caught by Coyne on the far side. It had a little bit of a push-off to create space, but it created just enough for him to pull that one in. The biggest play of the day for the Spartans. We'll get them past midfield.
Thought it was clean, John. Looked clean to me. We did find out what the old vertical leap is on Coach Ryan Larson over there. Might have been a push-off, and he was, I would say, rather animated, trying to get the ref's attention. But end of the day, Spartans able to hit a big chunk play in the pass game, and it's really been their first one so far.
And again, that nice arm exhibited by Kip here so far finally pays off there on the big gain. This time throws in the flat and carrying it forward up to the 41 of the Tardans. I believe it was Riley Nurick.
There's our North Royalton grad getting his requisite. Quick pass, and not the biggest guy, but he's definitely stocky and quick, and that can make for a tough tackle. 2 straight plays, looking to go tempo and keep it moving.
What is the North Royalton mascot?
That'd be the Bears. Purple and gold school colors, the Bears.
Shouldn't it be the Kings or something like that? It's Royalton.
I agree, we are Royalton. Here we go.
Dusler forward passed up to about the 40. And we'll bring up about a 3rd down. And we'll call it 6 at the 41.
This is definitely 2-down territory. Coach Debs knows. Down 2 scores here. You're not kicking a field goal. Defense has shown, maybe Carnegie Mellon's going to move the ball on him a little bit. You got 2 plays to get 6 yards. Again, chasing points.
See if the Spartans can convert a big 3rd down here from the Tardans 41. Handoff comes near side Dusler. A little bit of space to work. Past the 40 up to about the 37-yard line, and that might leave them approximately 1.5 yards short.
And Carnegie Mellon brought at least 1 safety and looked like 2 linebackers. They had the right play call on. Run to the outside. It's more of a blitz up the middle. Looks like Coach Deb's going to take a timeout. He knows this is a big play. You don't want to give the ball back there on the 35 to Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon has shown they are going to blitz. They're bringing the heat here. They're going to take that big D line and then throw in some linebackers. And they've seen it a couple times now. So Coach Debs, Coach Slesh need to go to the bag of tricks. Not even the bag of tricks. They need to go to the offensive system that they've trusted for the last 18, 19 years here, and the end of the day, if you want to be a winning football team, if you want to beat a team like Carnegie, you got to get 1 yard when you need it.
Well, certainly plenty of options for the Spartans to do that. They have Dusler, who's in the game. I imagine they come back out with Dusler here. You have a few bigger backs that you can certainly bring in if you need to, or you could give Kip a chance to try to get the yard on the keeper. And so certainly some different options you could go with here if you are the Spartans. And frankly, 6-3 on the year, a game that you really want to win, maybe you try to take a risk and you air it out over the top too.
Sure. I mean, if you're thinking inside run game, you look at Mr. Heffel there, 97. Again, we said 6'2", 6'3", 320 pounds. He's going to make it tough. First step is getting the snap clean.
Looks like Kip might try the keeper here, but then will take a step back. 3 backs, no receivers. They'll go big on the line. Kip takes it, cuts around the outside, looking for the pass. Now runs, dives forward. Boy, he gets upended, but gets the first down also. And a tough run there for Ian Kip to get a well-earned first down.
He was met by 2 or 3 defenders. He got helicoptered. Little Josh McCown action there, and watch, he's the first one to bounce up. He says, thank you very much, that's a first down. We'll keep the ball moving there. So big play call. I would say that was a risky play call like you touched on, and man, they got 1.5 yards. They only needed 1, but they got that extra half.
I think they were looking for the pass on that one, and it just wasn't there. Carnegie covered it well, but again, Kip is dangerous. He's fast, he's big, and he can hurt you in different ways. The handoff to Orsini with some space to work. Cuts past the 20 and taken down inside the 20 as the Spartans now starting to get a little bit of rhythm there. They'll get up on the ball quick.
Yep, here comes the tempo. They got about 4 plays that they can call with about 1 word. Carnegie trying to sub guys in. Offense didn't sub, so they can go whenever they want.
They take the snap quick. Another handoff to Orsini, who tries to twist around the defense, but Stokey pulls him down.
You know, the one thing I've seen, usually when they go tempo, and I'm sure other teams have noticed this, when they go tempo like that, it's almost always a run play. I know they have pass plays. There's 3 or 4 pass plays they can call. A lot of times it's either a quick slant or a quick screen, but so far tonight it's been tempo. They're going run up the middle.
Well, that's gone back to your days as a Spartan when it was Rob Kuda and Jacob Burke playing running back, and they do that, big pass for a big gain and then hand it off to Burke, and he just hammered the defense that way while they're back on their heels. Pass here into the corner. Kip looking for, I believe, Coyne, and they'll say he landed out of bounds. So Coyne made the catch. Let's take another look at that one, see if we can see where he ended up. Beautiful pass. You can't see his feet there, but I believe so too.
Yeah, they're picking on Williams again. They like the size matchup. That's got to be what they're seeing over there. Williams is only 5'9", Coyne checking in at 6'4", so you can have all the talent in the world, but
you can see Coyne,
6 inches is tough.
Coyne boxed him out like he was playing the post in basketball on that one too. So 3rd and 9 for the Spartans from the Carnegie Mellon 16-yard line. 7:25 left in the opening quarter. Kip drops back to pass, throws over the middle, pass is caught. Coming forward with it is Coyne, and taken down past the 10-yard line.
Oh, now we got a decision. This is why Coach Debelak is paid the proverbial big bucks. What do you do here?
The Spartans have to get to the 8. They're just inside the 10 right now, so let's call it about a yard and a half.
4th and short. They're keeping the offense out there.
Might as well at this point.
Maybe go on 2, see if you can get a freebie, see if you can get a cheap first down.
They're playing back, expecting, it seems like, a little bit of space for the pass, and so I wonder if Kip tries to take advantage of that here. Certainly some room to work if you are Kip. He will look to throw, and he'll cut around the outside. Now throws, the pass is low and incomplete, and intended receiver Riley Nurra couldn't quite get to it, and that'll be a turnover on downs once again.
Yeah, and what they've shown, they're either going to blitz or they're going to drop back, and they're going to have number 8 Robert Corey be a QB spy. So we've seen Kip, a lot of the offense has been him getting out of the pocket, being able to extend plays and pick up first downs, say, okay, great, we're going to slap our best, most athletic linebacker as a spy out there and make it really tough on you. As we look down on the sideline, it looks like Kip hobbling off a little bit, maybe a little bit of a hip stinger.
Yeah,
hopefully he's okay.
Kip was shaken coming off the field, and so that will be another storyline to watch with Saxton out already. Aaron Phillips would be the backup today. As the throw over the middle, Hughes can't hold on to it. I think he heard footsteps coming at him. And we have another flag on the play here. It comes from the near sideline. Imagine the area of a hold potentially.
decline it and have 2nd and 10 or march it back, I would imagine it would be 1st and 15 if they do accept it. Case is going to decline it, so they'll go ahead with 2nd and 10 here.
So declined. So 2nd and 10 from the 10.
This is a big field position. I'll say a couple of plays here. Now, of course, Case Western would have liked to get on the scoreboard, but if you're able to hold the Tartans here and pin them deep, potentially a situation you get the ball on the plus side of the field.
Bama back in the backfield for the Tartans. Mills takes the snap, hands off, and Bama taken down. And looks like about a loss of 1, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Nothing. We're going to see the replay. I'm not sure who we're going to give the tackle to. There's probably 3 or 4 guys that could get the credit.
Dudowski right there, Toth in the middle of it.
Okay, 3rd and 11, like we said. If your offense is having difficulty, go ahead and win the field position game. Pin the other team back there. Put the punter out there, see if he can bring the punt block unit out again and really make a game-changing play. But none of that matters unless you get the stop here on 3rd and 11.
Big 3rd down play for the Spartans defense, trying to get off the field again. Snap back to Mills, handoff comes, Bama with it, just trying to get some breathing room, I think, for his punter. Maybe gets it about a yard or 2 past the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll spot it at the 11, set up a 4th down and 9. And it will bring on the punting unit for the Tartans. And Andrew, you mentioned that the Spartans have been aggressive going for the block here early on some of these punt attempts, and I imagine that certainly they'll be going after the punter, Jabe, here.
Yeah, you probably come after it. Go ahead, put the punt block team out there. You tell your returner, hey, listen, you got no help, just fair catch it. You can see where he's standing. He's got heels on the 45, so just catch it there. You'll take that from a field position perspective.
Good snap, Jabe with the punt. And Yoder will let it go, and it'll roll out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. And so the Tartans will begin the possession with the ball on their side of the field. Let's see who comes out at quarterback for them. And Kip's still out, and so Aaron Phillips will be the quarterback.
Yeah, and he's going to be a similar mold to Kip. He's just a little bit shorter, but still, he's going to be a dual threat. Freshman kid out of Medina Highland, so local guy, Cleveland product, and really ran a prolific, we'll say, 2-pronged attack there for the Highland Hornets. And I mean, this is the biggest stage he could hope for as a freshman, so we'll see if he's able to rise to the occasion. Coach Debs, Coach Schlesch, they do a good job of coaching up that quarterback room.
Takes the snap, hands it off, it's Orsini. And boy, I thought he was going to have a little space, but coming off the end to get the tackle, once again was Stokey, who's having himself a really nice game at that end position.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the halftime stats are. That defensive line and linebacker group is really racking up the TFLs. That's got to be 6 or 7 of them for tonight. It seems like every couple plays it's a different guy flashing.
You know, going back to Phillips for a second, a guy who's a really talented quarterback, one of the guys that the Spartans thought, and certainly probably still think could be a quarterback of the future for them. You know, obviously got clouded a bit when Kip came in, but this is his opportunity now to go in and see what he can do running this offense. Handoff to Orsini again, past the 50, and taken down right at midfield.
Yeah, in the first 2 plays, let him get the nerves out, 2 handoffs, and then you find yourself in 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9 is going to be a place where, you know, if I'm drawing up a play here, I'm probably giving him maybe a rollout, give him the option. You can either tuck it and run and show off the athleticism or pass it. But see what they pull out here. It's going to have to be a pass play, and this is where we're going to find out what Phillips has.
3 minutes, 50 seconds and counting left here in the first half. See if Phillips can get the Spartans moving. 3rd and 9 from midfield. Takes the snap a little low, but able to get off the pass. The pass a little low as well, looking for Coyne, and that will bring up 4th down.
Yep, it was there. Hegday was coming on the safety blitz. Gave him decent time, decent protection. Just gonna have to shake the rust off a little bit. He'll be fine, and we'll keep an eye on Kip and see if he's able to pop back in the game. But I mean, you think of some teams, you see one quarterback goes down and pretty much the whole offense crumbles. And Case is now on their 3rd quarterback, and you know, we've seen throughout the year they can play 3-4 in any one game, and typically there's not a huge drop off. Now it's gonna be a little different going against a defense like this, but plenty of ball game left. 2-score game on the Spartans defense to get another stop.
Punt will land inside the 10 where it's picked up and taken down immediately. Voiland tackled as soon as he picked it, kind of realized he was in a tough spot. Best bet might have been to let that one roll one way or the other. And boy, that's Colin Schuster again, and what a day he's having. I believe that's Schuster. Is that
Dusler? That's the running back. Look at that. That's a leader on the team. You get, we'll call him the starting running back. They kind of have 1A and 1B between him and Mr. Orsini. So get your starting running back and down there as a gunner, able to make a big tackle. And now this is where it has to happen. If you're going to get a turnover, find a way to make it happen here. You got them backed up. Make it easy on your offense.
I just like to point out that on that last punt, the Spartans had one of their starting running backs as a gunner, and they had their now quarterback, at least on the last drive, in punt protection. So
got to do a lot here.
Handoff goes to Vasiliadis, who carries forward for a gain of a few. See where they spot it. Still inside the 10. Looks like up to about the 8 for a gain of 2.
Looking at the clock, we're just creeping down, ticking just at 3 minutes. If I'm thinking of Carnegie Mellon's approach on this drive, it's probably going to be milk the clock down. They'd be thrilled to go into the half up 14-0, given how everything's gone. So probably let the clock go down, maybe run it a little more, and even if you do give the ball back to Case, it's not going to be with much time left.
And they get the ball to start the second half.
Yep.
Over the middle. Contact, flag flies. And let's see what the call is there.
I'll tell you what, they can't be calling. If they're going to call pass interference, it should be the ref that was 10 feet away, not the one that was 25 yards away. Looked like a good play by Schuster. I thought he has every right to the ball. I'm not necessarily sure that it wasn't pass interference the other way. Oh, we got a legal man downfield. Take back everything I said. Great job by the Zebras.
They won you over in the end.
How about that for a flip flop? It took 10 seconds. Case will go ahead and decline that. Kind of a similar situation. They'll take the result of the play. 3rd and 8. Big thing on that incomplete pass there. It's going to stop the clock. Case Western with 2 timeouts left. If they get a stop here, depending on run pass, I would think the Tartans run it just to milk some more time off.
Or at least force the Spartans to take another timeout. That's exactly what they'll do. It's Vasiliadis who carries it past the 10, but still short of the first down. The Spartans will use their second timeout, and we'll get the ball back here with over 2 minutes left and maybe a chance to do something offensively. So, again, Andrew, it's another opportunity for Case Western Reserve to try to get something going here. And they should have decent field position with which to do it.
Yeah, the problem is I don't necessarily know what their identity has been today. It'd be easier to say, well, they're really moving it consistently through the air, or the ground games look really good. It's almost been drive to drive, and part of that is when you're switching quarterbacks, you got guys coming in and out. It's really tough to get in a rhythm out there. But again, I can't necessarily sit here and say, oh, they need to keep hammering the run game or hitting the seam pass. It's been tough sledding as we anticipated. We'll call Carnegie Mellon probably the best defense in the conference and one of the top 20 defenses in the country. They're going to make it tough. They're going to get you out of your identity pretty easily.
Well, and especially with the first-year quarterback in there now. Let's see. Yoder back at midfield. Jabe set to punt.
Good
Long
kick.
Punt.
Good kick.
And it dies at about the 38-yard line where Carnegie Mellon picks it up. But boy, I thought that one was going to roll a bit more. It just hit the wrong side of the ball.
What was that, your sand wedge? Is that what that looked like there? Just kind of dotted it on the 40 and it sat down. I thought it was going to roll too. But looking up at the clock, 2 minutes, 23 seconds left. Case Western has 1 timeout. Curious to see who we're going to roll out at quarterback here. Again, last drive was Aaron Phillips, local kid from Medina Highland, replacing Ian Kipp, who was out with what looked like maybe just a little stinger on his hip. And it is going to be Phillips coming out again for him.
It's interesting. Just saw Jace Merritt on the field kind of give a little bit of words of encouragement to Phillips. And, I think if you're Coach Debelak here, you think about taking some risks here with the young quarterback. Let him try to air it out or let him try to move out of the pocket. We saw very conservative on that first drive, handing off to Orsini on the first 2 plays. Here he's going to have a shot. He will look to pass here on first down, moves out of the pocket, but swarmed by the defense and taken down. That was Evan Roper, and once again, Robert Corey in the middle of it on the sack.
And they're trying to go downfield. It looks like they're gonna take him off the leash a little bit. Now the problem is you got to give him the time to do that. Thinking a guy making the transition from high school to college, he can be at the biggest programs. You can have all the stats in the world. It's a different game. You go from playing guys that are 15, 16 years old to more or less grown men out there, and also they're a lot bigger and a lot faster. So it takes a couple plays to get adjusted. Not saying that Phillips can't do it. It's just gonna have to happen pretty quickly. You got to go trial by fire and get a couple passes under your belt, make a couple layups, and get the confidence going.
Phillips drops back to pass again. More time this time, but his pass knocked down, and again, Robert Corey, that time in pass coverage, getting his hands on it. And 3rd and 16 now coming up. But Corey is all over the field.
Well, it helps there's 2 of them, right? Yep, able to get the hands up, and they are still spying. It looks like they, for one reason or another, they want to shut down the Case Western quarterback run game. So they've had a spy on, and that's really kind of, like I said, shut down maybe that rollout or bootleg package that they have.
This time a little bit quicker, up for Coyne, and he can't hold on. That was Williams again in the middle of it, provided just enough contact to knock that one away. Good pass there by Phillips. Thought for a second the Spartans were going to have a big gain there. Yeah, great job by Williams. He's got that hand in over the top, knocking the ball loose. That's about as good as you could do.
Now, he's got to be the biggest 5'9", 175 player I've ever seen. The way that he plays, and when I say that, it's positioning. Okay, it's getting into the lap of the receiver, getting your head turned around, and then go up and find the ball. Just because you're a couple inches shorter doesn't mean you can't high point it and go make a play on it like he showed there. There's a reason he's got 5 interceptions, and I think you mentioned he was a national team of the week. I think it was 3 picks in one game their last time out.
Punt away from Rhodes, and it will roll out of bounds just inside the Carnegie Mellon 35. And that is where the Tardans will take possession here with 1:17 left on the clock in the opening half. And we'll see if the Tardans try to do anything aggressive here or if they're just comfortable letting the clock run out here in the opening half.
Yeah, you probably come out. Let's see, they got 2 timeouts. It's probably one of those situations. You get a handoff, and you tell yourself, okay, if he gets more than 6 yards, then we're going to go for it. If it gets stuffed, then we'll just kind of pack it in and be happy with 14 points.
The old toe in the water.
Sure. There you go. Is that the official football term?
We could term it that.
Yeah. Okay, looks like they're able to pick up 6 or 7 yards there going through the air, and based on that, I would guess that they're going to try and get points.
See if they can pick up a few here. So 1:13 left now. Not a lot of time off the clock either. Straight football came on the field on the far side.
You got 1:13, and again, 2 timeouts left. That's plenty of time to operate. Even if you go down and kick a field goal as it expires, make it a 3-score game, that would be huge knowing what they have on the defensive side.
Mills takes the snap, looks to throw, comes near side, making the catch is Everett. Carries past the 40, and they'll line it up at the 43-yard line. Clock ticking with 1:05 left. Another quick snap from Mills, but a whistle blows.
And that might be just getting the chains right.
Yep. And that'll wind the clock again now. As the snap comes, Mills to throw. And that one caught.
That's a great throw. So Coach Miller typically, well, and it's not necessarily exclusive to him, but cover 2 is a coverage that really works pretty well in the end of game situations. It protects the sidelines. When you see cover 2, you got to make those, we'll say, hole shot throws where you're fitting it in between the corner and the safety. Good job by Mills threading the needle there.
Another positive play. This time the catch made by Everett once again. And a timeout will be called by Carnegie Mellon. So Carnegie Mellon threatening here up to the Spartans 35. They call it timeout. As Everett's had a couple positive plays. Yeah, if you're the Spartans, the defense is held pretty stout all day long. Need to just try to come up with one more stop here, because last thing you want is to give the Tartans more points here heading into the half and then giving them the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
This is quickly becoming a situation where you need to come up with a big stop here.
A big stop, a turnover, something. You can't just rely on penalties or miscues from Carnegie Mellon. You got to go out and be the aggressor. You got to be the one that is forcing the mistakes. And again, if I had to guess, it's probably going to take a turnover or two here. Maybe a turnover, pick six, try and speak it into existence, something like that. But Carnegie Mellon's shown they're just starting to chip away, starting to move some people up front, and you start involving Everett in the passing game, and he goes in motion 55 times a night. You should probably flip him the ball at some point to keep him relatively happy. But it's been a spread offensive attack today. Vasiliadis is getting a number of carries here in the second quarter and getting the run game going. Then you start chunking in Everett through the passing game, and that's resulted in the positive yards that we've seen.
So Mills driving his team down the field, takes the snap. One man in the backfield now taken down. Sacked on the play as the Spartans brought the blitz.
Yeah, and Caden Tong has been lurking all day. Usually doesn't take pretty much till halftime for him to get a sack, but that's a big play. I mean, that puts him back. Looks like we're going to be third and Wycliffe at this point, but 33 seconds left. It looks like Carnegie took their last timeout, so kind of one more tackle in bounds, and that'll get us to halftime. But like you touched on, you don't want to give them a chance to get additional points plus getting the ball coming out of the second half, already being up 14-0. That'd be a significant uphill battle from there.
You know, it's a good time to talk about Caden Tong and what he's done for this team. Keep in mind, Caden was essentially the person who stepped into the role that Cameron Brown left, and he's done such a good job of putting pressure on the quarterback, of applying constant pressure, the tackles for a loss, just tremendous all around for Tong, who has been such a presence. And he's really the guy that if you're an opposing team, you have to look out for on that defensive line. That's the guy you got a game plan around.
Yeah, he's got a chance being a junior and coming back next year. He's got a chance to break a lot of records. This is second year in a row that he's been super productive from a TFL and also a sack perspective. And I would agree, if you're thinking about one guy to isolate and kind of shut down on a game plan perspective, it's definitely been Tong.
So 33.5 seconds left as Mills takes the snap, and again the Spartans penetrate, but Mills escapes, throws down the near sideline. The patch is made by Hughes, and he's down to the 29-yard line, if they give it credit, but a flag.
Oh yeah.
And that will be a hold.
Hold and then some, a super hold, ultra hold.
So that will negate the gain, and the Tartans, after a really successful start to the drive, now find themselves back on their side of the field with the ball in the 43.
You know what kind of the funny thing is, if that play would have played out and they caught it in bounds, that was the end of the half. And looking now, it looks like Carnegie Mellon, there's about a half a second difference between the play clock and the game clock, so they may just either take a knee or take it and chuck it up there. There's really no downside to it. And they're going to reset the game clock and let it go, or the play clock, sorry.
And so that will end the first half. So the Spartans trailing 14-0 to Carnegie Mellon here. Certainly some bright spots, but overall it's been a defensive battle between the two teams as we head into halftime. The Spartans will look to come out, see what if they can get something going offensively in the second half after struggling in the first again against what is a really, really talented defense. So we'll be back as Case Western Reserve trails by 14 heading into halftime.
Good evening, Spartan fans, and welcome to tonight's Spartan Marching Band halftime show. Tonight's show was handpicked by the band's graduating seniors, so if you don't like the music selected, you can blame them. For our opener tonight, we will be playing the Daft Punk Medley. It is a collection of songs written by the world-famous digital duo. It spans their entire catalog and includes such hits as One More Time and Get Lucky. We hope you enjoy the Daft Punk Medley. Our next tune was last played in 2019 as part of our show dedicated to the Master Blaster himself, Stevie Wonder. This particular arrangement of the song was a favorite of the band's because the famous solo section is played in unison by everybody. Here is Stevie Wonder's classic, Sir Duke. We close our show with one of the band's favorite songs. It was first performed in our dedication to Cleveland weather in 2018 and again in 2019 as we celebrated 40 years of the LGBTQ+ pride movement. It is now a popular stand tune and it returns to the field once again as the closer of tonight's senior show. Here is It's Raining Men. The seniors celebrating their final halftime tonight are Evan Aaronholt, Quinn Barsh, Matthew Constable, Noah Grindal, Tamara Jeffries, Evan Megna, Ellie Rapp, Maria Skalicki, Josh Tang. Thank you, seniors, for your years of hard work, and thank you for making music with us during your time here at Case Western Reserve University. Shine on, seniors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the CWRU dance team. And now let's hear it for the dance team seniors. Megan Falk, Lena Kloberg, and Mia McClinchy.
Welcome back once again to Santo Field. Case Western Reserve University is the Spartans trailing Carnegie Mellon in the 36th playing of the Academic Bowl. 14-0 the score after the first half. And Andrew, it's been a tale of two defenses here in the first half. They have been going at each other hard and frankly not a lot of yards to be spared in this one.
Yeah, looking at the stat sheet, Case Western is actually outgaining Carnegie Mellon somehow, some way. Case Western with only 93 yards of offense in the first half, Carnegie Mellon 92. Okay, we'll say they evenly matched on yards, so where's the 14 points come from? 2 turnovers. Case Western with 2 fumbles. One drive they gave Carnegie a 1-yard field. Carnegie able to find the end zone. I think the other time you said they had a 46-yard drive going off. So we knew this was going to be a close game. We knew it was going to come down to field position and turnovers, and so far the Tartans have been the ones that have been able to take advantage of that and really be the aggressors. Now, on the other side, Case Western, their defense looks great. Again, they've been put in some very tough situations, and you know, at the end of the day, still giving up 14 points in a college game in the first half, that's fine. That's giving you a chance to win. Got to keep doing that, got to keep it up and giving your offense a chance to come back, and it will take a comeback. They're going to have to hit some splash plays, and you know, looking out there, they might have to do it not only with their backup quarterback, but their third-string quarterback, Aaron Phillips, at this point.
And we'll talk more about Aaron Phillips in a second. If you're looking for some bright spots, though, on offense for the Spartans, Antonio Orsini, 59 yards rushing. He certainly had some opportunities. Noah Coyne, 5 catches for 54 yards, so he had a nice first half as well. Just not a lot of other really positive gains across the board there. And as you mentioned, Spartans already without Drew Saxton, out for today's game. And now Ian Kippett appears may be done for the day as well. And so it turns to Aaron Phillips, who is the youngster we can see in front of us right now warming up a little bit. He's going to have to try to lead the Spartans on a comeback. But, hey, you know, it's kind of what this game is made for people to kind of become rising stars. And that's what the Academic Bowl can do. And a lot of pressure is going to be put on the shoulders of that young man down there, making really what is, while he's appeared in games before, this is the first time he's really going to be relied upon to produce for this team.
Yeah, and he's doing it against a tough defense. And I'm actually shocked looking at the stat sheet. So we've talked about the Corey brothers on defense for the Tartans. And Robert Corey's got 10 tackles in the first half, sack and a half, 2.5 TFL. Go look to the other Corey, Thomas Corey, 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. So they have definitely lived up to the billing. And you know what's really going to come down to, we've talked a lot about the quarterback and some of the skill guys. That Spartan offensive line, and I'd say it's a veteran group. They do have some guys that have started a lot of games, started 25, 30 games for them. It's going to be on them to take care of the young guy back there, give Phillips time to operate, and really help to calm him down. So kind of the punchline there is it's going to be tough. It's not impossible. It starts with getting a stop here when you get the ball back. Give the ball to the Spartans or the Tartans to start the second half, and again, get a stop, get your offense a chance to go out and put points on the board.
Give you some numbers from the first half. 93 yards for the Spartans, 92 yards of offense for the Tartans. So again, neither defense with much going on there. 63 passing yards for the Spartans, 76 for the Tartans. 30 rushing yards for Case Western Reserve, 16 for Carnegie Mellon. So again, just not a lot of offense. 1 of 7 on third down conversions for Carnegie Mellon. 1 of 10 for Case Western Reserve. So it just hasn't been a lot going on offensively. One of the biggest sources of yardage gain today for both of these two teams has been penalties. 2 penalties for 25 yards for Carnegie Mellon, 5 for 55, which is very uncharacteristic for Case Western Reserve. They're already over their season average there, so we need to cut down on the penalties in the second half as well. Case Western Reserve will kick off to open the second half. Again, it was snowing earlier on in the day. It was raining early as well. I think the rain has passed us now, although certainly still chilly outside. Probably one of the colder days we've had in a long time.
The Spartans will kick off as we begin the third quarter. Joseph Rhodes.
So Case Western Reserve set to get going here with Joseph Rhodes. Back to receive for the Tartans are Arian Hedgeday and Ethan Reefer. Taken by Reefer. And he's taken down, but another flag comes in.
I was going to say, there's at least one hold. 2 points for a takedown, but instead it's going to be 10 yards for a hold on the receiving team. And well, the Tartans offense come back out. They've had a lot of scenarios where it's been plus territory. They've been on the other side of the 50 starting the ball. One time they started on the 1 yard line.
Indeed, there's the holding call.
So we'll see if they can string together a drive. It's been tough. We go ahead and look at the stats for the Spartan defense. Leaders on, at least on the tackle front, Gabe Trock, Ryan Cabrera, Colin Schuster's had a great game. A couple pass breakups for him in addition to some help in the running game. So Spartans defense has been good. They've been put in some tough scenarios like we hit on earlier, and they don't necessarily have to be reactive. Go get the ball, get a turnover, and be the aggressor like you were for a lot of the first half.
So the Tartans with the ball to start things off, and a pass comes to the near side. Condemi with it, forward to about the 25-yard line. Bring up a second down and 2.
That'll be Condemi's second catch. He had 1 in the first half for 17 yards. Hughes was really their primary guy through the air to start. 3 catches, 44 yards. Beautiful touchdown reception on the nice, we'll call it teardrop pass from Mills in the first half.
Second and 2. Vasiliadis in the backfield. He takes no peek. He's kept by Mills, who launches down the field. The throw high and over the outstretched hands of Condemi there.
That was another frozen rope throw. He can really throw it. It's tough sometimes in the cold. Hear about baseball pitchers, a lot of times it feels like they're throwing a cue ball, or a pool ball. Same with a football. It can be tough sometimes to really get a good grip on it. You hear a lot at the NFL Combine. That's why they measure the hand size. It's a lot easier to get your hand around it when you got a bigger hand and you can kind of rip it in tough weather conditions. But Mills has been pretty good through the year so far.
He's keeping his hands in that hand warmer a bunch too that he has around his waist. Is the handoff there to Vasiliadis, and he's swallowed up in the backfield, still going but finally taken down, and that might have cost him a few yards trying to escape the grasp of that play.
Looks like Sakalo coming down from the safety position. Great tackle.
He just stayed with Vasiliadis there, and that will force the punt. And again, the field position game continues here, and it's going to be up to Jabe once again to try to win the field position battle here. Yoder back to receive. Jabe will punt from his goal line.
Oh, they're trying. They're trying to go after it.
And Yoder will fair catch it at his own 47-yard line, and that's where the Spartans will get their first possession of the second half. So once again, we'll take a look at Aaron Phillips, who will come out after playing the final 2 drives of the first half. He'll now get a shot here to try to lead the comeback for the Spartans. He'll do it with 3 wide receivers, make that 4.
Yeah, and at halftime, if you're Coach Debs, Coach Slesh, and you go talk to Aaron Phillips, you look at him and say, listen, you're no longer the freshman. You're no longer the backup. You are the quarterback of this team. You got to go out. You got to move the ball. Talked about it earlier. Get some layups, get his confidence going. Maybe use his legs, give him some run-pass options, and just move the ball again. You can't help why you're in there or the situation to get here. Now it's showtime. Let's see what the kids got.
Carnegie Mellon looking to blitz again on the first play of the drive, but Orsini finds a hole, carries forward all the way up to the 44-yard line.
Going
for
a little
gain
tempo.
Of 9.
See, at some point they're going to pull it. They'll throw a screen off this tempo, but thus far it's been dive when they go quick.
Another run forward for Orsini. See if he got enough for the first down. Carnegie Mellon signaling that they thought they had a fumble recovery, but
he got it. He also got landed on by Heffels. So 1 yard to get landed on by a big guy, but you'll take it. Moving the chains. And this is what Case Western's been able to do. I'd say between the 30s, they've been really good, and it's gotten really tough when they go down to the red zone there.
So 1st and 10 from the 43. It's the 10th first down of the game for the Spartans. And off again to Orsini, who muscles forward. Nice job there by Orsini to turn what might have been a loss into a gain of a few. As he fell forward, we'll give it to the 39.
He's been running tough. He's earning the paycheck today. So far, nothing but runs to start here the second half.
And what could be the last game of Orsini's career, too. I don't know what his future plans hold. He does have another year of eligibility because of the lost fall of 2020, but
well, we'll see. We'll get some alumni in his ear, see if we can get him back on campus one more go around.
Tremendous running back that the Spartans have had for the last 2 years. Throw goes downfield, nicely thrown by Phillips, but over the head of Wachowski, I believe, on the near sideline.
Yeah, and one thing that I've seen the Tartan defensive backs do a really good job of is, you heard me say earlier, get in the lap of the wide receiver. You kind of get in positions, put yourself right in between yourself or them and the ball, and then squeeze them to the sideline. Sideline's kind of going to be your 12th defender out there. They've done a good job of making it tight for the quarterbacks there.
It was Jackson LaJoy on the coverage. We get into a long debate on the pronunciation of the last name LaJoy. Of course, Andrew, baseball fan, so you know.
Nap.
Forward, past the 35 for Orsini on the carry.
He's going to be just 1 yard short. See, it's been 5 or 6 of these 4th and shorts that they've had here. Last time got under center and ran a bootleg. Kip got helicoptered around and was able to pick it up. Oh, and they're going to move it.
And they will, so first down, Case Western Reserve. That time, Phillips keeping. Nice job coming forward with it across, I believe across the 30. We'll see where they spot it. Indeed, up to the 29.
I think they got to get some of that going. I mean, Orsini's a stud. He can go out there and take a lot of hits, but we got 11 minutes left in the third, and all the fourth quarter left, you're going to have to do something other than just, halfback dive up the middle with number 1.
You got to wonder, though, if the Spartans might want Phillips to be slightly careful here with himself. They're really running out of options at quarterback here.
Sure. I look here. I mean, they have one-on-one coverage at the bottom. Looks like man up top. You're going to have to throw the ball and find some of these matchups.
Trying to pass there. But just out of the reach of Wykowski again. Wykowski playing in his senior day game. Again, I hesitant to call anyone who still has a year of eligibility, say his final game, because you never know what could happen. But again, today's certainly a day where Wykowski's celebrating his senior day. Phillips takes the snap, handoff goes Orsini, room to run for Antonio. Carries past the 25, and that will be another first down.
First down, and they're going tempo.
Well, the running game all of a sudden is clicking for the Spartans, who might be wearing down the Carnegie Mellon defense a bit here. Quick snap. Phillips keeps it. Caught the defense by surprise. Cut back towards the end zone, taken down at the 2-yard line.
There we go. And, get up and snap. There's going to be an injury timeout.
Yep, man down for Carnegie Mellon.
Yep, Heffel's down with an injury on the 20-yard line, but you said the running game is starting to open up. That's probably the best run that we've seen out of Phillips this year, at least at the home games that we've done. And he's tough. Kip showed it in the first half when you got Orsini coming head down, dive, and then you pull one of them out of there. Doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. It's going to be positive yardage, and it's really tough to defend. So good to see Phillips getting some confidence. I still think it's going to have to come through the air in addition to the ground. It's not necessarily a defense you want to get one-dimensional against, but it's gonna take points of some form or fashion, and so far this is where they've had trouble. They get down here and they're just not able to complete it.
Andrew, I know that they're similar quarterbacks. We're talking about Phillips and Kip, but how much does halftime benefit the Spartans in this situation where you get a chance to recollect with your quarterback here, maybe readjust your game plan?
Yeah, well, it's what I was saying earlier. You can kind of look at them and say, hey, listen, this is your half. This is your team. You're going to go out there. You're one of the leaders of the team now. It doesn't matter. You're only 2 months into your college career. You take a deep breath, get them to realize that, and focus on solutions.
So first down and goal from the 3, from the shotgun. And Phillips tries to sneak through. Is he still going? He is, and he's in for the touchdown.
There you go.
Aaron Phillips leading the Spartans down the field against one of the best defenses in the country, and pulls off the quarterback sneak for the touchdown. And the Spartans, with a fighter's chance in this one, 14-6 now the score.
Yep, looks like we got maybe an injured lineman. Coach Debs is out there with the training staff, but in the meantime, credit to Aaron Phillips there. He didn't get it on the first try, didn't get it on the second. The third try, he's finally able to kind of twist and wind his way in there, and that's probably the area he's most comfortable with. He's been their short yardage quarterback. They've done kind of that wildcat formation all year, so that's where the majority of his reps have come. And now, like we said, the most important thing was breaking the seal, showing you can score on this defense, and that's a big confidence booster for everybody on the sideline.
Peter Kelly, the player down for the Spartans, the junior, who's being looked at by the Spartan training staff. But again, a nice drive for Case Western Reserve as they come up with points for the first time today. Kelly will walk off on his own power and seems to be okay.
There we go. A little fist pump from Debs. Kelly jogging off. Playing Carnegie Mellon usually has a pretty good effect on getting over some of those soft tissue injuries or a twisted ankle, stuff like that.
You kind of start to get the feeling that momentum might be shifting. If not momentum, then just pure emotion in this game seems to be shifting in the Spartans' favor.
Yeah, well, this defensive series coming up, this will be big. This will be a big one.
Good job by Phillips to get that snap down. He does it all, and with the extra point, Joseph Rhodes pulls the Spartans back within 7 in this one. 14-7 the score. We'll take a break, come back with you in just a minute.
An extraordinary dining experience where you're certain to enjoy the ambiance as well as the menu? Table 45 Restaurant and Bar is the award-winning mixed culture restaurant located at the Intercontinental Cleveland, offering cuisine from around the world created by accomplished local chef Zach Brule. Open every day, the atmosphere at Table 45 is relaxed yet inspiring with weekday chill-out happy hours, a behind-the-scenes chef's table, and outdoor dining on Patio 45. Call for more details or reservations at 216-707-4045 or visit us at tbl45.com or on Facebook.
We do more. We step up, stand out, break rules, and spark revolutions. We ball, boss up, shatter records and ceilings and expectations, and at the end of that,
we still end up with less.
Well, you could just tell momentum in this game has changed as the Spartans coming out fired up. Joseph Rhodes with the kickoff and sends it back. Return there. And the return up just to about the 40-yard line. And that is where Carnegie Mellon will take over right about, they'll call it the 38, it appears, and a nice return there, and that might help to stall some of the Spartans' momentum here. We'll see if the defense can answer after the Aaron Phillips touchdown run.
Yeah, and like you said, the momentum is just started to shift into the color of Navy a little bit. This will be a huge drive. You can, especially on a 3 and out, but more importantly, just get them to punt the ball, get the ball back to your offense. Got to capture that momentum and let the offensive line go back to work.
Mills looking to pass, far side, looking for Hughes, but it's long.
It's a tough throw. Going from the right hash all the way to the opposite sideline. Hughes unable to come down with it. Second and long here, look for them to either take a short pass, maybe a running play. You don't want to get into third and long. The Spartans defense is starting to get a little bit of swagger. You see Caden Tong is starting to move some people up front there. So look for them to pick up maybe, I don't know, 3-4 yards, low risk, try and get into third and medium.
14-7 the score, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Another pass attempt for Mills, who's going deep, might have a play here. And pulling in the ball that time is Hughes, a beautiful catch. And boy, that was a tremendous play. Another well-thrown ball there by Mills.
Well, John, I said 3 or 4 times they're going to take a little layup, and what do you know, they bomb it. So good throw by Mills, probably a better catch there by Hughes. Dominic Seiss was right there with pretty good coverage, but most of the time, good quarterback play is going to beat good coverage like that.
Off the long throw, going to pass again, and this time Hughes couldn't hold on. The pass out in the flat, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Got to catch it, and then you can run. Got to do A before you can do B.
Boy, Hughes has been a frequent target once again today.
Yeah, there was that one drive where they went to Everett for 2 or 3 in a row, and haven't really seen much out of the tight end position. Typically, that's a big part of this offense. We've seen him in motion. He's definitely been more than willing to serve as a lead blocker for Vasiliadis back there, but it's not as active in the pass game as we've seen in years past.
Handoff that time to Vasiliadis. He gets taken down in the backfield.
Looks like Ryan Cabrera there getting a big TFL for the team.
Cabrera so fast and just comes off the edge there, and boy, he was right on Vasiliadis. Set up a 3rd and 11 from the 26. Another big stop here for the Spartans, if they can get it. I would imagine 2 down territory, so if you're Carnegie Mellon, you might not try to take the whole chunk up here, maybe try to break it into 2 shorter gains.
Yeah, and they typically have a pretty strong place kicking unit. Again, didn't get a great look in warm-ups to see what their range is going to be.
Throw comes, it's over the top, looking for the end zone, and it's overthrown. Good coverage once again by Schuster.
He's been playing
against
great,
Kademi.
Playing really, really well on his senior day. And I'm confident he is done after this year. This is Schuster's last game.
Colin Schuster now a 5th year, and is pretty much well, I don't know if he started, but he's played in almost every game.
Yeah, he definitely played as a freshman.
You know, it's interesting when you have his Carnegie Mellon will line up for the kick here. It's from about the 33-yard line, so we're looking at a 43-yarder. The crowd gets loud. There's the snap. The kick is
No,
up
sir.
and it's short.
No.
Well short.
Okay, there's the stop they wanted.
So Hannah, on the field goal try, can't convert it. Now the Spartans getting the ball back here. And again, momentum has continued to shift in the Case Western Reserve favor. So the Spartans will see if they can take advantage once again. And Aaron Phillips, boy, you want to talk about stuff that legends are made of. If Aaron Phillips finds a way to win this ball game today, the Spartans down to their third-string quarterback against someone with a ton of talent who the team thinks high of but just hasn't played a ton this year. Well, he's got an opportunity. He has a chance to make the most of it, and now working with some confidence as well. First play from scrimmage here, hands off. No, he keeps it. Boy, they had me sold from up here. I thought that was in Orsini's hands, but Phillips keeps it, rolls out to the outside, gains about 8 on the play, maybe a little less. Let's call it, yeah, we can call it 8, I guess. So 2nd and 2 from the 34. Handoff this time does go to Orsini, who carries forward, and that should be a first down.
Yeah, and they're starting to feel it a little bit.
They will move the chains.
I keep saying he's going to have to throw it, but maybe he doesn't.
You know, there's a game a number of years ago between the Panthers and the Falcons. The Panthers had Chris Wenke as their quarterback, and they essentially ran the Wildcat the entire game, where Wenke pretty much just handed off or ran it up the middle the entire time. You know, it works if you can pull it off. Well, here he's throwing to the near side. But you have that dynamic ability as Nurek carries forward almost to the 39. You have that dynamic ability with Phillips out there, with Orsini out there to just let them play off of each other today if you can.
Yeah, he's done a good job of it. We saw in the first half those linebackers, the Corys, are going to be coming, slamming down, they're blitzing. The D-line is holding people up front. You're probably going to have to attack on the edge. There's not a whole lot up the middle. Going to have to make the reads and make the plays.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 39. Orsini, the lone man in the backfield, 4 receivers bunched on the outside. Here comes the throw. Phillips throwing over the middle, finds Wykowski, who makes the catch on the Carnegie Mellon side of the field. It'll be at the 46-yard line, and the Spartans moving the ball against this defense all of a sudden.
Here comes the tempo. This has been halfback dive most of the night. They're going to pull it at some point.
And this time it's Phillips again with it, running to the outside. Gets past the 45 up to about the 43. They'll call it the 44. And
good tackle by Hegde there.
They'll bring up a 2nd and 7. You just feel the energy in the building has changed.
Yep. Momentum's a real thing.
Snap was low. Handoff goes to Orsini, who loses a yard.
Yeah, it's tough. Anytime there's a low snap, you see it all the time. Just the operation gets just a little bit off, and it's going to mess up the read there. So
and
now
I got to imagine with this type of offense, too, you get that low snap, the rhythm is off a little bit, Orsini's cutting over, it just throws everything off.
Yeah, when you're running the read option, it's got to be crisp, at least on the snap and the quarterback exchange perspective.
So 3rd and 7 from the Tardans 45. 4 receivers, 3 on Phillips's left, 1 to his right. The lone back is Orsini, still has gotten the bulk of the load here so far. Orsini goes out wide, the throw comes, perfect pass to the middle of the field where it's caught and reeled in by Coyne again.
I mean, you can see on the replay, he got rid of it a hair before he got hit. Great job by Coyne, good strong hands. Up there able to drag Williams for a couple extra yards as well.
Quick handoff once again. This time Orsini's knocked back. Again, it seems like Carnegie Mellon keying in on Orsini in those situations more so than before now. See where they spot it. Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10. They'll call it 11 on the scoreboard.
This is 4-down territory. So you got from here 3 plays to get 11 yards.
What's impressed me about Phillips so far, there's a fearlessness there that is incredibly impressive right now. Look to pass here. And throws that one away in the direction of Coyne. Not sure if that was a miscommunication or if he's just looking to get rid of it.
Yeah. something there. It almost looked like an out and up that they were trying to run, but not on the same page. So now 3rd and 11. This is a play you don't want to get into 4th and 11. You're kind of hands tied at that point. So take something that has I would say a high floor, something that you know you're going to get 3-4 yards on, and just kind of open up the possibilities for 4th down coming up.
Watch out for Fromberg over the middle here. He's lined up on the left side, one of 3 receivers there. Phillips keeps it, trying to find some room. He had some. He's coming down the sideline. Draws contact at the 20 where he's out of bounds.
You talk about the fearlessness. He didn't have any fear there. He put his head down. You're going to see him come up. We'll see what DB had the unfortunate job of staying in the middle, and boom. Good run.
And it looks like Coach Debelak will bring out the field goal kicking unit here.
Now, in the back of my mind, I do come back to what you said earlier. We're on the 3rd string quarterback. Should it be going out there, putting the head down, banging it out with the linebackers and DBs?
By the way, speaking of the 3rd string quarterback, important to note now that the 3rd string quarterback is also the holder here, so something to keep in mind. Do they try anything? As the field goal is blocked.
Don't touch it.
And so the field goal attempt by Rhodes gets blocked. We'll see who got the hand on it.
Coming off the edge, the right side. Oh, it was up the middle. Up the middle. Tartan's able to hold.
And so Carnegie Mellon thwarts the attempt despite what was probably one of the better drives of the game for Case Western Reserve today.
Yep, but I would say now it's a 1-possession game. Game on. Your quarterback can move the ball. He's building some confidence. I would say now you can really get after it on the defensive side, knowing that you got the offense to come on the other half behind you.
I will say I'm a little surprised they didn't go for it in that situation.
Yeah, that kind of broke the tendency. I don't know if Coach Debs was just looking to get some points, some form of points out of that drive, but up until that point in the game, they had been going for it on anything under really 4th and 5.
So 4:22 left in the 3rd, still a 7-point game. Handoff comes up the middle.
There's not a lot there in the middle. In Case Western, their defensive line, they never, really since Ian Henderson, they haven't had anyone that is, I would say, a traditional nose tackle, getting up 290, 300, 310 pounds. It's really more kind of that 260, 70 range. Guys that are real athletic can kind of split the gaps and, penetrate and allow these linebackers to come in behind them and clean up.
Michael Kelly plays that nose tackle role now for this team. He's had a great year. Looking to pass near side. Hughes with the ball, turns to the 20, has some space, but a good job to pull down Hughes there. And once again, that's Colin Schuster, who's playing off him on coverage, but recovered quickly to keep that from becoming a big gain. If Hughes gets to that sideline and gets past Schuster, he might run a long way there.
Yeah, and Hughes came up just hobbling a little bit, looked like just a little ankle tweak. I'd expect to see him back, but they've been playing off. They kind of put Schuster on an island down here on the bottom. They usually pick sides. Miller's defense, they usually have a left corner and a right corner, and they'll put Schuster on an island. He's going to play conservative, play off, and typically let them have, a 5-6 yarder if they want it.
Run up the middle, Vasiliadis again. Schuster and Sakalo in on the tackle. Set up a 2nd and 5 on the 31. Again, it's been a little bit of bend but don't break for the Spartans defense here in the 2nd half so far. The team is within striking distance. Mills looking to pass, and the throw goes long.
Good play. Good play. That defensive line, the linebackers are starting to swarm. Doesn't take much on the back end. You just got to cover for 1-2 seconds, let those guys get in there, disrupt the quarterback's timing, and throw off the play like we saw there. So now 3rd and medium. This has been a down that the defensive line and the edge guys have been able to get pressure on Mills all night. And again, it's a 1-score game. On the other side, you got Phillips starting to gain some confidence. He's shown pretty good ability on the ground and good enough through the air. So I would imagine once he gets back out there, he'll continue to improve, but got to give him that chance. Got to get off here on 3rd and 5.
3 receivers from the shotgun. It's Mills, 1 back. That's Vasiliadis, who takes the handoff, tries to find some space, and does, and should have enough there for the 1st down. Yes, he does.
And that's big. You know, at halftime, and we haven't seen the updated stats, but at halftime, Carnegie Mellon was only 1 of 7 on third down. Case Western has shown a really good ability to get off the field and give their offense a chance, and that's probably the first, you know, third and medium conversion that we've seen out of the Tartans so far.
So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line now for Carnegie Mellon. Pass comes near side, caught. And nice gain after the catch for Ethan Reefer.
It's probably the first time we've seen his name. He's been back there on kickoff returns, but we got a flag. Okay.
And another ineligible man downfield.
Yeah, and that's a flag. Candidly, they can call 80% of the pass plays in college now. When you have that run pass option, the read option game, the linemen don't actually know. They don't have any idea if you're running it or passing it. So they think it's a run. They'll get, usually it's about 2 or 3 yards is kind of your grace period. If you get past that threshold, then the refs are going to call it on you. So just a couple of linemen wander downfield and negates what was, you know, a solid pass play and a first down for them.
So back to the 33-yard line. It'll be a first down and 15. See if that stalls some of the momentum that Carnegie Mellon had been building. Pass comes and complete and caught by Condemi. Short of the first down, but not by much.
That's another throw that Mills drilled it in there.
So up to the 46. It'll be a 2nd down and 2 now. Another throw for Mills. Looking deep. Looking for Reefer, no catch there.
That was a great play. Great play by Schuster. They ran a sluggo, so a slant and go. When they run that slant, you want to be in a position where you can collision the receiver, kind of get in the way, and to extend his route, run the go portion of that. He basically has to run right through you. So Schuster, great job reading the route, great job being in good position and disrupting that timing there.
He's just been brilliant today. He's had a great career, but I think this might be the best game we've seen out of him.
It's the best I've seen. It's the best I've seen at home for sure.
So 3rd and short, 3rd down and 2 from the 46. Another big play coming up. Snap comes. Mills looking to pass. Again going deep, this time for Hughes, and he catches that.
Oh, yeah, he did catch it.
Sakalo saying it hit the ground, but I think he caught that clean.
Wow, I can't believe that on 3rd and short, throwing it up there like that. Sakalo got the head around. What a catch by Hughes. Yeah, it moved, but it didn't hit the ground. That was a big-time throw and catch.
So the second big 3rd down conversion on this drive for Carnegie Mellon. Now along the outside, it's Vasiliadis who takes it up to the 19. Gain of 6 on first down, brings up a 2nd down and 4 with 46 seconds and the clock ticking here in the 3rd quarter.
Man, I can't get over that 3rd and 2 call. Not only the call, but the run looked like a slot fade that they ran there. Execution was great. Huge guts to I guess, call that play call. And like I said, Mills is able to convert.
Up the middle again, Vasiliadis, and he's taken down. Looked like Dudowski.
That'll be the 4th.
And so Carnegie Mellon will let the clock run down on the 3rd quarter, and they'll take a 7-point lead. But Case Western Reserve's offense showing some signs of life here in the 3rd quarter. Get back within a touchdown. We'll take a break. 14-7 as we head into the final quarter of the 2022 season for the Spartans.
In search of an extraordinary dining experience where you're certain to enjoy the ambiance as well as the menu, Table 45 Restaurant and Bar is the award-winning mixed culture restaurant located at the Intercontinental Cleveland, offering cuisine from around the world created by accomplished local chef Zach Brule. Open every day, the atmosphere at Table 45 is relaxed yet inspiring with weekday chill-out happy hours, behind-the-scenes chef's table, and outdoor dining on Patio 45. Call for more details or reservations at 216-707-4045 or visit us at tbl45.com or on Facebook.
We do more. We step up, stand out, break rules, and spark revolutions. We ball, boss up, shatter records and ceilings and expectations, and at the end of all that,
we still end up with less.
Fourth quarter about to get going here at DeSanto Field. Final quarter of the season for the Spartans, who trail by a touchdown. Defense will be on their heels a little bit. 3rd and 3, a big play from the 18 for Carnegie Mellon. They've converted 2 big third down plays already on this drive and trying for one more here. Vasiliadis, who has been in the backfield throughout this drive and has run the ball well, probably as well as he's run it all day. Vasiliadis up to 41 yards for the day. The Spartans have held him in check for the most part. Mills looking to pass underneath and upended, and it appears it's right about at the marker, and they will call it a first down as making the catch.
That's
on the play. That was Everett.
That's a big catch, and probably more importantly, holding on to it by number 6 Everett there. Good play call, little boot action. Sneak out the tight end, and that's a huge first down conversion.
You said it about Everett. They've kind of used him creatively and put him in motion a lot, but he's made a few big plays today for this team. So 1st and 10 from the 15. Hand off Vasiliadis. Taken down at about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Yeah, and we've seen how much work and effort went into getting 1 touchdown for Case Western, and it took them basically 3 quarters to get that done. So Carnegie Mellon is looking again here, see if they're able to punch it in, go back up 2 scores, and that would be a big lift for the Spartans offense. Again, not something they can't handle, not something they can't do, but you think of everything that went into just getting 1 of those touchdowns, it would be an uphill battle.
Comes near side, caught, Reefer into the end zone for the touchdown. Ethan Reefer with just his 2nd catch of the day, but it's good for a touchdown, and that's a huge play for Carnegie Mellon as they'll take a 2-score lead heading into the start of the quarter here.
Yep, and penning the extra point, that'll get back up to a 14-point lead, and it's going to come back down to Aaron Phillips in this offense. He showed he's able to move the ball. Looks like it's going to be primarily on the ground for them with just a little pass, and there we go. There's the old announcer's jinx. Missed the field goal.
Extra point, no good, so it's a 13-point game.
So we'll see. We'll see who Coach Debs in this offense is able to cook up. When you think about their losses this year, outside of the Johns Hopkins one, which was for a variety of reasons, not necessarily the closest game that we've seen ever. The other 2 losses to Grove City, to Westminster, 14-13. Defense played great. Offense just wasn't able to get it done. In this scenario, defense has played, again, pretty strong, I would say. Given the situations they've been put in, they've really stepped up. Now it's time for the offense to kind of pull their weight. And again, they're doing it with their 3rd-string quarterback. Understood, but not much they can do at this point. He's got to go out, he's got to execute.
Well, and Aaron Phillips has given the team some life here in the 2nd half, and so we'll see, but his task just got a little bit taller after the touchdown by Reefer. And so now the Spartans will try to overcome a 13-point deficit here with 13:47 left in the game.
Looks like they got a chance to return this one, get some field position.
That's Orsini. And he's taken down at about the 25-yard line. And so that is where the Spartans will start their drive.
Okay, and if you look at, so they basically get twice in the end zone here to erase this deficit. That's going to be the goal. It starts with getting a score on this one. How are they going to do that? It's probably going to be staying out of 3rd down. Up until this point, they've had 14 chances to convert on 3rd down. They've only gotten 4 of those conversions. So you're given 3 downs to get the first down. You don't necessarily have to take all those. Let's be productive on 1st down, productive on 2nd down, stay out of 3rd and long, and just make it easy on yourselves. And again, it's probably going to be run heavy, read option. Got to do it through the air at some point too.
Gage Dusler in the backfield takes the handoff, carries past the 30 to the 31.
This looks like we'll get a Dusler drive here. Again, they typically switch off between Orsini and Dusler.
And the Spartans looking to go quick. Another Another handoff goes to Dusler. Up to about the 32.
At some point, Aaron's going to have to take a step and realize they got to get set. Probably could have called it there. You got wide receivers running around, got to take a breath, let everybody get set on the offense. Even if you're going tempo, what's the easiest way to kill tempo? If you get a procedural penalty. So make sure your receivers are set, and then we can go from there.
Chalk it up to youthful exuberism.
Sure, just a little eager.
3rd and 3 from the 32. Now Phillips taking a beat with the clock ticking here. 12:47 to play. Takes a snap, handoff. No, he keeps it. And we'll get to about the 38.
They're going to kick it, which I'm a little surprised. I mean, we're getting down to crunch time here. It's by the time they kick this, it'll probably be under 12 minutes left.
Ball at the 33 here, so it would be a 4th and 2.
Yeah, and that's a disappointing 3rd down. I mean, you had 3rd and 2, showing a pretty potent running attack here in the second half, and just not able to pick up any yardage there.
Nice punt by
Good
Rhodes.
kick.
Really good kick.
Roll a little bit.
Keep going. And it'll stop inside the 15. Looks like about the 12 or 13 yard line is where Carnegie Mellon will start. Well, again, I think if you're Coach Debelak, for the most part, your defense has played really well today. You know, you get to play the field position game even this late, thinking that maybe your best chance at moving the ball 50 yards downfield might be punting and letting your defense try to play here.
Yep. So you got the punt off. You did step 1. Now step 2 is you got to clamp down the defense. Look for the DBs to be just a little more aggressive. You know, for a lot of the game, they've been willing to give up those 5 and 6 yarders. You might clamp it down just a little bit. Turnover here would be huge. I mean, so far, Carnegie Mellon's winning the turnover battle 2-0. Case hasn't been able to get their hands on the ball just yet.
Mills with 2 wide receivers to his right, steps back after taking the snap, throws to his right, and it's caught at about the 19-yard line.
And that's the play. When they do that rollout, you got to push the coverage. Coach Miller's yelling it out there. I know he is. You got to push the zone, push the coverage, and try and get underneath it. It's a good throw. It's a dangerous one though.
Condemi with the catch there sets up a 2nd and 4 from the 19. It's Vasiliadis, and he will have a 1st down on the carry.
Yep, and every 1st down, call it 2.5 minutes at a minimum is going to come off the clock. So as they are up 2 touchdowns here, they're going to look to milk it. Not necessarily focused on just running the ball. They'll probably be 2-dimensional here for a little bit longer, but like I said, each 1st down is going to be probably 2.5 minutes off that clock.
20-7 is the score. Just over 11 minutes left in this one. Pass from Mills, and did he catch it? He did. Condemi again. Mellon has some receivers with just really good, reliable hands.
Yep.
Just guys that could catch the football.
Yeah, they're not necessarily burners. They used to have a couple guys that could really run and were really quick and, you know, weren't necessarily full route tree guys, which just kind of burn and chuck it up to them. But these guys are, I would say, more technicians. Really strong hands, reliable, like you said.
Well, it's interesting watching the revolution of the Carnegie Mellon offense over the years. As Mills looking to pass here, comes near side Hughes, and he's out of bounds for a 1st down at the 35-yard line. But remember how run-heavy this team was when they had Sam Benger there. And
well, even before that, they used to be triple option not too long ago. So really run-heavy back in the day.
Now all of a sudden, you know, again, this is a team with good running backs, but you can tell they like to pass the ball. I mean, this is a passing offense right now.
Yeah, it's usually tight end focus and then some speedy receivers, but Sam Benger, he said he was there for forever, several years, holds several records, and now with Vasiliadis, they've had a couple good runs of tailbacks here.
Vasiliadis again, and he's starting to heat up a little bit as he carries past the 40 up to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, he's heating up because the big guys up front are heating up. They're really starting to get hats on the Spartans and moving them wherever they please.
You get the feeling that Carnegie Mellon can sense that they're a couple 1st downs away from really putting this game away.
Turn.
As the throw down the field, catch is made but out of play, and it'll be incomplete. That's Reefer again, and he's had a nice second half. tell. Mills starting to look for him more and more, and it's been successful.
Oh, and here you go. You got 3rd and short. If they get stuffed, I would expect them to punt it. I wouldn't say this is 2-down territory. That would be really risky. They'll do it now that I said that they shouldn't. But so far in this drive, they've showed if they're going to run it, it's going to be 4 or 5 yards minimum. That would be another huge pickup for them here.
I can't imagine them going for it on 4th down here. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, just don't jump. Don't jump off sides.
Handoff. And Vasiliadis with the 1st down and more, and he may have a lot more. Goes down the sideline to the 25 where he's finally taken down.
Yeah, they're feeling it. You can see that sideline is smelling it. Gonna go tempo and try and rip off another one here.
Some good blocking. It's finally Gabe Trock who took him down. On 1st down, another handoff. And they are putting the ball in the hands of their junior running back and letting him try to run this clock down as much as he can.
We'll get a hold.
So they'll move the ball back. Ball be set at the 33-yard line.
Okay, there's your chance. There's kind of your little break. He's either going to take a TFL, something to stop the bleeding there. Holdings on 1st downs can be complete drive killers. So you got 1st and 20. This is the most important play of the game right here. Pretty much every play going forward is, but got to get a stop, got to get him to 2nd and long.
Handoff, this time it's Bauma who spells Vasiliadis, and we'll get another flag on the play that comes in late. In the area of holding.
Yeah, they got another hold. Now Coach Debs will have a decision. Yep, take him back. We're going to have 1st and 30.
You know, I would imagine at this point, 1st and 30, if you're Carnegie Mellon, you're content to run the ball and run the clock a little bit here. In worst case scenario, even if you don't gain yards, you take time off the clock, you can pin them deep with a punt. And all of a sudden then you're looking at forcing the Spartans to try to score 2 touchdowns with maybe their back against the end zone and, 6 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, it's a little different if it's a 1-score game. With them being up 13, they can really get conservative and play that field position game, but 1st and 30 now, there's no excuse. You have to get off the field and force a punt here.
That'll be Bauma who takes the ball to the right.
Yeah, and it's not quite at the point where they're going to start doing this, but eventually Case Western will start taking timeouts when Mellon has the ball. Again, all 3 timeouts left. We're going to go under 8 with this next snap. Got the old 2nd and 28 super common scenario here. I would think they do some form of a run. If not a run, it's going to be a 99% completion rate pass, but probably a run play of some form.
And I think it's a good example of how you can turn what was sort of a negative drive here, at least, by the time they got those 2 penalties, into a positive. Bill's looking to pass here, and
he almost caught that.
Long, yeah, boy, Hughes has just had himself a tremendous day. What a talented receiver.
Well, that was big there. They ran that sluggo again, and for one reason or another, Schuster's able to cover that one at all points, but stops the clock. That's what's the big result of that play. Stops the clock. It's 3rd and 28. You got to get off the field, no matter what. Probably going to be conservative here. If they want to complete it for 12 yards, go for it. It's over 2 minutes, so even if you get them out of bounds, the clock will run.
I would imagine that if you're Carnegie Mellon in this situation, the end goal of this play is not necessarily to get 1st down. It's to keep the clock running.
Keep the clock running. Keep the clock running, see if you can get Case to burn a timeout, put your head down, and get 5-6 yards here.
Handoff to Vasiliadis, who's back in the game. That's a nice gain, taken down at the 35. And again, the clock will run.
We'll go under 7 here. Carnegie will send the punt team out, and they'll try and pin them back. If and when they pin them back here, this defense is going to be swarming. They know Case either is going to have to drop back pass, which they're not necessarily comfortable doing with Phillips, or they're going to have to run it. So those safeties are going to be flying down, and you'll see a pretty aggressive defense from them.
So Jay back to punt, standing at midfield. Yoder on the return standing at the 10-yard line. There's the clock ticking, and Carnegie Mellon will
Take a delay game.
Yeah, I believe so. Makes sense, especially if you know your punter. Really, that 5-yard difference when you're at that point in the field might not make much of a difference.
Well, it's kind of like your golf game, right? Sometimes you need a little more room to operate. More of a 6-iron guy than...
You keep talking about my golf game as if I have one.
Your skills on the course, however good or bad they may be.
They extend to Tiger Woods golf, and even there, they're severely lacking.
Well, hey, Tiger can't hit his driver either, remember that.
Trying to coffin corner it, and let's see where that one lands. Well, it takes a bad bounce, drops back to the 20, and that is where Case Western Reserve will start the drive. Well, probably really when you get down to it for the Spartans, this is a must-score drive and probably need a touchdown here as well.
Gotta have a touchdown. Gotta have a touchdown. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like. They've been very run-heavy, as we said. It's been a lot of Orsini, a lot of Phillips. He was pretty good when we've seen him pass. It's been more the intermediate, couple 15-yard digs going over the middle. We'll see if they really unleash him and maybe look for some rollouts where it's either a deep pass or a run. See if they can find what's best for his skill set.
Phillips looking to pass. Rush comes on. The throw a little short. He's looking along the near sideline for Coyne.
That was a tough throw. If he makes that throw, then we really got a superstar back there. But pressure coming in. Almost able to slip it in there for Coyne. The one thing they got to watch out for is Mellon knows they're probably going to get pretty pass heavy, and if you get pass heavy and you're in 3rd and long, they can start blitzing linebackers and really wreak some havoc back there.
That's been the Carnegie Mellon game plan most of the day today, whether it was Kip or now with Phillips there. He makes a nice throw along the sideline, and the pass is caught for a first down.
Nice job by Arrington. Arrington will pop up here kind of randomly in these home games that we've done. He'll have a couple big catches here and there. Not necessarily a volume guy, but when he does catch it, it seems like each time it's going for a first down.
Big first down there. It's now 1st and 10 from the 31 as the Spartans moving the ball forward. Have to pick up the pace here. This will be Phillips. And another nice run forward up to about the 45 for another first down.
And like you said, they're going to have to go tempo here. Pretty much every play from here on out. Mellon, at some point, they'll start getting into not a full prevent, but a cushion defense, I would say, where they're going to be content with giving up 5-6 yard comebacks.
Well, and I got to imagine if you're Phillips, it's hard to run in a hurry-up offense with an offense you haven't run with a lot. You have not had a lot of opportunities. As he, again, runs the run up the middle, up to midfield. So 2nd down and 5, but the clock's still ticking.
And we'll probably be right about at 5 minutes when they snap this ball here. Spartans with 3 timeouts, down 13. Have to find the end zone here. The game's pretty much over.
2nd and 5 from the 50. Snap taken. Near side, Wykowski tries to escape the defense, gets up to the 45 where he's stopped.
Yep, that's a first down, so stop the clock there.
Haven't moved the change yet, and now they will.
They will run the clock. So even though he got out of bounds, over 2 minutes, they're going to run the clock unless it's under that threshold.
First and 10 from the 45. Spartans moving the ball again on offense. They come up with points here. Phillips with pressure behind him, looking to go deep down the sideline. Might have Fromberg just out of his reach.
Man, that was right there. Right there would have been a huge play. Good throw by Phillips. Good vision coming all the way back. Good pocket presence to shift his left and really give Fromberg a good chance to make that play. About 2 feet out of reach. So now you got 2nd and long. You got 4 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock, down 13 again. Hunt for a touchdown. Can't do anything else. Can't worry about anything else until you get in the end zone.
Phillips certainly has not been afraid to take his shots here. 2nd and 10 from the 45. This time on the near side. Finds Orsini up to the 39 where he stopped. Clock will keep running after the gain of 6, setting up a 3rd and 4.
And that's actually probably a bigger play than people realize. Taking, what the defense gives you, 3rd and 4 is much, much more manageable than 3rd and long if you would have taken a shot there, lower percentage completion.
4:10 left now. Phillips takes the snap. Throw, turning around is Wykowski, and he makes the grab for the 1st down.
Yep, clock will stop as they move the chains inside the 20 now.
Spartans have to go quick.
And if you're Mellon, you don't want to give up even, you're up 2 touchdowns. Make it easy. Don't give up the first one, and then things really get tough for them.
1st and 10 from the 20. Throw towards the end zone. Short. As battling out on that far side there was Coyne.
Phillips throwing some good balls. He's starting to gain confidence in the passing game at least.
You can see he put it in a good spot because the only guy that was going to get to that ball there was Coyne cutting back. So it was well executed, just couldn't quite get the ball there. Okay. So 2nd and 10 from the 20. Blocked at the line, knocked down.
Yeah, they're starting to heat him up a little bit. They're starting to bring the blitzes again.
Kevin Cook. Cook, who I believe is in the game right now. No, I thought for a second that Robert Corey was out, but they have Cook in there as well.
Okay, 3rd long. Definitely have 2 plays to get it. Looks like at the bottom, they have Wykowski soloed up with Williams, their best cover guy.
3:47 to play, 3rd and 10 from the 20. Phillips takes the snap, here comes the blitz, he looks to throw, back of the end zone, Wykowski can't get there as it's out the back of the end zone. And a 4th and 10 coming up, and a situation where the Spartans have no choice but to go for it.
Yeah, he gave his receiver a shot there, just 2 more yards. Yeah, 2 more yards out of the back of the end zone. You might have a chance there, but unable to complete it. Coach Zeb is going to take a timeout. He knows this is basically the ball game. This is your best play. Whatever your best play is, you got to pull it out here.
We'll see what they can do. 4th and 10 from the 20. And the timeout called by Coach Debelak. They've been going to Coyne a lot, and we'll see if that's the option here. We've seen Riley Nurick be a target a few times. Michael Wykowski seems to be someone that we've seen a little bit of rhythm with Phillips, but either way, a must-get 4th down play here for the Spartans. To have any hope in coming back in this one, they have to convert here. So we'll see against one of the best defenses in the country. First-year Aaron Phillips pressed into action today due to injuries to Drew Saxton and Ian Kipp. 4th and 10 from the 20 in the 36th playing of the Academic Bowl. Takes the snap, looks, the blitz comes, and he fumbles it, and it will be recovered by Carnegie Mellon, and that should seal it for the Tardans. Again, they can certainly, even if they don't get a 1st down, make it an even taller task for the Spartans to come back. A good gain on 1st down there by Vasiliadis. Up to the 30 36-yard line. Gain of 4 on first down and the clock ticking. Coach Devilack not opting to use his timeouts yet. He's got 2 of them remaining. I imagine if they get a stop here, maybe either way, this will be where Coach Debs uses that first timeout. There is that first down. Vasiliadis up the middle, and that will be a first down, and that should just about do it. Well, it certainly appears that another edition of the Academic Bowl will go in Carnegie Mellon's favor. The Spartans went 8 straight years winning the Academic Bowl up until 2015. Carnegie Mellon put an end to that streak, and since then, they've won all but one playing of the Academic Bowl.
Putting points up on the scoreboard. Going to score 13 points across 2 games, and it's a tough defense out there. It's a little different scheme. It's not necessarily something that you see from a lot of teams out there. It's very, very linebacker heavy, linebacker dependent, and they've been able to recruit and develop guys that have allowed them to stick to that scheme and cause a lot of problems for opponents, and particularly Case Western, because you'll see their other games. Some teams, for one reason or another, are able to put up some points. Case Western's had a real difficulty the last 2 years.
Meanwhile, Carnegie Mellon, which entered the game with the longest winning streak in all of the NCAA, it looks like they'll stretch it to 17 games now, and what an impressive run they've been on. And for them, a redemption trip. Remember last year, they won the PAC, were scheduled to go to the NCAA tournament, but on the way there, had to cancel the game due to COVID, and forfeit their NCAA tournament game. So this year, they'll get another shot, and maybe even a chance to host this time when they finish this one off. So congratulations to Carnegie Mellon on a tremendous season, undefeated, 10-0, 8-0 in the PAC, back-to-back PAC champions. Vasiliadis takes the handoff, and that should do it.
Looks like one timeout. Looks like they might make a sub or 2. Yeah, so wrap it up. I mean, it was, let's say, very, very dominant from the Tartans' defense. Case Western's defense came to play as well, just too much. Too much of the Tartans on the defensive side of the ball really suffocated the Spartans' offense. Spartans forced to adapt. It was good to see Aaron Phillips get in there and get some good reps. He really can't put a price on the experience that he got today. I thought he showed some good stuff on the ground, also through the air. Just feel for some of the seniors going out like this. It's a tough loss to have it at home on senior day like that, but should be proud of how they played. I mean, the team that came in here is 19th in the country for a reason, and Case Western for much of this game. And you know, at the end of the day, it's probably only going to be a 13-point deficit for them. They played tough. They stood toe-to-toe with a top 20 team in the country, and now you see what the measuring stick is. You know what a playoff team looks like. Everybody coming back next year has an idea of where they need to get and the quality of team they need to be. So it's a good experience, disappointing end of the season, but again, congrats to Carnegie Mellon for getting the job done.
So on 4th and 5, the Tartans will punt. And that one will roll all the way down to the 10. And inside the 10, and with about 22 seconds left, the Spartans will get the ball back.
And we'll see, probably just running up the middle. I don't think they're going to take a knee, but get one more snap, take one more run, and then this game will be good and over with.
So Phillips, a nice showing for him, and really what, maybe not his collegiate debut, but certainly his first snaps of the team relying on him on offense. That pass incomplete, bring up 2nd down and 10.
We got 18 seconds left here. Let's air it out. What do you say?
I agree.
A 91-yarder here at the buzzer, that'd be okay.
What do you have to lose, right?
Sure.
That's what Phillips is thinking here, trying to buy time, scrambling, throws.
Good
and
catch.
The pass is brought in along the sideline. That's Coyne.
Tell you what, him and Coyne both coming back next year, I think we might have a little budding connection there. I think that one could be something that we see in the 2023 season pretty often.
And, you know, looking forward, it'll be interesting to see for next year. Is it Kipp at quarterback? Is it Phillips? Is it someone else? The transition from Drew Saxton, whose brilliant career has come to an end as a Spartan, the all-time leading passer in program history in basically every category.
Yeah, and do want to just kind of reflect on his career. I mean, it's been awesome to watch him for the last 4 years and change, and see all that he's accomplished. You know, Drew has really been a leader from day one for this team. As he touched on, he's got so much of the record book in his name. He's going to finish, you know, pretty high up in the Division III all-time rankings as well. So shout out to him for continuing to lead and be a real bright spot for this program.
And that pass ruled incomplete, and that will do it. So Carnegie Mellon wins the 36th playing of the Academic Bowl, 20-7 the final score. A real defensive battle today. Carnegie Mellon taking a 14-0 lead early on with a couple of touchdowns with a short field, and then adding on a touchdown in the second half to put the game away. So the Spartans fall here today, drop to 6-4 to finish their season. Carnegie Mellon completes the perfect season, 10-0 on the year, 8-0 in the PAC.
Yeah, credit to Carnegie Mellon, back-to-back conference champs. That's certainly no easy feat, especially in a league like this where you got 3 or 4 teams that are capable of winning each and every year. So 10-0 to them, 9-0 in the conference. They will go on to the NCAA playoffs. I believe tomorrow they'll find out their fate as far as hosting, where they're traveling to. Looking forward to seeing them represent the PAC conference. But as we said earlier, Case Western has now seen what it takes. They see what a playoff team looks like. 2019, the last year the Spartans have gone to the playoffs as a program. That's obviously the measuring stick. That's the expectation for this team going forward. So good experience. Congrats again to the Tartans as they move on.
Well, we'll take a quick break, come back in just a minute, wrap things up here for 2022 in DeSanto Field.
In search of an extraordinary dining experience where you're certain to enjoy the ambiance as well as the menu? Table 45 Restaurant and Bar is the award-winning mixed culture restaurant located at the Intercontinental Cleveland, offering cuisine from around the world created by accomplished local chef Zach Brule. Open every day, the atmosphere at Table 45 is relaxed yet inspiring with weekday chill-out happy hours, a behind-the-scenes chef's table, and outdoor dining on Patio 45. Call for more details or reservations at 216-707-4045 or visit us at tbl45.com or on Facebook.
Final score once again here from DeSanto Field, 20-7, Carnegie Mellon. Andrew, obviously today not the way the Spartans wanted to end the season, and certainly last week, the last 2 weeks certainly weren't the best, but really overall, it feels like a very different 6-4 than this team had last year, and a lot to build on going forward.
Yeah, they're right on the edge. I think it's exciting. I think there's a lot of guys coming back next year. 6-4 is certainly not the expectation or something that the coaching staff will be happy with, but a lot of great individual performances on this team this year. A lot of guys that stepped up. Shout out to the seniors that have been through a lot, kind of going through the COVID transition of this team. Now it's an opportunity for this team to get into the offseason, get healthy, really grow, bring in another recruiting class, and hopefully get back to the playoffs.
Yep, and, especially watching the way the defense has grown at the end of the year, the way that, really this team just materialized as the year went on. A tough loss to start the year
to Johns Hopkins, and they bounced back nicely. In the PAC losses, 2 were by 1 point. It really was a good year for Case Western Reserve, and I think they'll be proud of what they have by the end of it. So, again, a tough way to end the year, but certainly a fantastic year once again for the Spartans, who finished 6-4. And congratulations again to Carnegie Mellon as they'll move on to the NCAA tournament to represent the PAC. So everyone here, want to thank you all for joining us here today and all season long. I know Ron Jans, who I filled in for today, did my best to fill Ron's big shoes. I know he really wanted to be here, but I'm sure he wishes his best as well. For Andrew Rossman, I'm John Schwartz. For everyone on the Media Vision crew, want to thank you for being with us all season long, and have a great offseason, and we'll see you in early September next year when the Spartans are back out on the field. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, and have a fantastic offseason.